Everybody, we're about to go all the kinds of live. We're just going to test the sound real quick. Hold on a second. Live. Yeah.
No live, only death.
No life, only death.
Going
oh, here's the
super goth tonight.
Get ready. Hold on. There we go. We did not check mics. How about now?
Fucking professional.
How do I see you?
Sure.
There you are.
Greasy.
Everybody, conversation.
Check.
Grease check. Checking the grease. Grease check.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm saying anything. Like if it doesn't come through the mic and I can't hear it, I don't.
That was from last episode.
I don't actually feel like I say anything.
I know. It feels like it's not even real.
Yeah. What's the point of talking if I can't hear myself through a microphone?
All right. Oh.
But for real, can we all? What?
That one's going. Getting ready to stream on radiovegas.rocks.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
No.
You're coming through. I just don't have you on the main speakers that much.
No, I gotta be on the speaker. It's my one requirement for doing. That's like the one thing in my rider.
It's like I must be susceptible to feedback.
Right.
It's my one requirement. Everybody, we got news for you. We got gas and wonderful things to do. We got things we're gonna do, things we'll say. We got things you'll learn to do in different ways.
Yo, this Jenga tower is gnarly over here.
Yo, this
Jenga tower.
That Jenga tower got, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to mess with it, but I have a feeling it's just gonna collapse, like halfway through the show, and it's just gonna.
It looks structurally iffy.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of yelling at YouTube right now. Sorry. It's hard to get that YouTube level just right. But YouTube's got like no delay. So if you want to be on the show in like that most real time where we get your comments like right away, YouTube. That's the way, yeah. You're like loving it. All right. Now Facebook. We just got to double check on the OG Facebookery. Shout out to Ange Kerfoot for this shirt. Oh, I've got lights for that. Yeah, I can see on the lights that you people in Facebook land are probably okay, if not a touch hot. Right? Tell me how tell me how hot you are in the comments. I mean mic volume. I don't mean your body.
Yeah.
Tell me about your hot mic volume over there that you're getting from us, because it's our mic volume. It's not even yours. But you could have your own mics. You could do this. I hope we inspire you to do what we're doing, because you totally might do it better. And
probably.
Yeah. You should be like empowered. We're like about empowerment.
We're liberating the populace to do podcasts.
All right. So now let's get ready to interrupt whatever song is playing interstitially on radiovegas.rocks. And oh, you know what? I feel like the mics are a little hot here. Oh, it's that. It's that light. It's like, why am I? Okay. Now commit. You got to commit, right? We're going to commit. All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's commit. Fucking.
All right. We're on radiovegas.rocks. It's real.
To the radio.
There's commitment going on. It's a radio. That's right. It's time. It's real.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
God's fucking things going on. Wow. Look at that. We can roll that down. Hey, everybody. Hey, shut up. Everybody shut up. That's right. Yeah. Getting John's out. There we go.
In front of a live studio audience.
See what you do? This took me a minute to figure out. But what you do is you take a sample of audience like that, right? Mm-hmm. But what happens when it just abruptly stops? It's really awkward. You get this? Yeah, what do you do with that? It's creepy.
Yeah.
So, and you take from the end of when their audience is like dying off, and you make that a different clip that interrupts the first.
Oh, okay.
And you don't really have to crossfade it. It's like practically static. It's really spread spectrum. So like the people, you don't hear the cut, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you go from the people, the audience rolling in to them rolling out, when you switch to that rollout clip, it's pretty,
so it's like the one dude in the audience who was like asleep the whole applause. And then he was like, wait. Like,
Yeah.
after everyone stops, he's like, wait.
You can have just him. It's like this.
You guys stopped too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right.
You get that fellow if you want just
He
like
like
a burst.
keeps trying to like bring it back. He's like, no, we got all standing ovation. I know you guys been clapping for 5 minutes. Standing ovation.
Oh no.
You gotta do it.
Have you ever seen that? Like the one standing ovation guy?
Yeah.
That'd be a thing.
I actually took this what was it about? Game theory. I took this like online class about game theory, and the dude, there was actually one of those. It was specifically about like how many people in the audience need to stand up to trigger a standing ovation for the rest of the audience, or like a large majority. Yeah, it was really interesting. I can't remember the exact number, but just thought I'd mention it.
It's got to be like one of those ratio.
Yeah, it's like a percentage of the audience. Yeah, and it depends on the type of audience too, which is really trippy and like where it happens if like at a more affluent area of town or like
distance from a beach
theater or something. You know, if it's like an opera theater, it's probably pretty much like guaranteed standing ovation. So,
all right.
All right. Anyway, yeah. Enough of that.
Time to put the kickers on. Now it's real. Now that the kickers are on. That's the place to get your headphones, you guys. Kicker them up. Because honestly, the headphones we had here before were just fly-by-night charlatans compared to this kicker situation. Kicker's been making audio stuff for a long time, but now they're hitting the personal audio market seriously with these. Not that these are like a brand new thing either. This product's been around a minute, but it's new to me when they popped up as like, hey, we'll hook you guys up with some headphones at the station with some headphones. It was freaking such an honor that like I don't know what I'm really scattered that up. But the thing is, they don't sound like car bass. Like a kicker, I know them from bassy cars.
Yeah.
Like hella car subs. And these headphones are like a really legit quality headphone with like small panel gaps. And they've put up with a bunch of abuse at this station for almost a year now.
They're like if you could listen to music through clouds.
Yeah, there's a cloud situation going on.
I like them too. All right, should we start with our...
We should start with...
Guess where this happened.
Guess where this happened.
Feel free to play along at home in the comments.
You can guess also.
Or don't. No one cares.
We encourage public, like communal guesswork.
Sometimes. All right.
It's the foundation of our news.
A woman. That's it. No, I'm just... All right.
What? How? Where?
Yeah, where exactly? That's whatever inquiring minds want to know. Woman pled guilty to killing her boyfriend by...
Guys, fill in the blank. Get ready.
Stabbing him.
Oh.
Hitting him with a table leg. And then crushing him under the weight of her body.
Whoa, I didn't realize there was a stabbing too. I just got hung up on the weight crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was done for good measure. She was
crushinator.
she like stabbed him first, and then he was like, "Oh, you stabbed me," and it's like one of those movies where he's like, "I'm still alive. Wait."
Oh yeah.
And then she like beat him with a table leg a couple times, and he's like, "Ow, you're beating me with a table leg, and you stabbed me."
He's so specific about what's happening to him.
Yeah, right.
It's helpful.
He's just a natural narrator, you know. He was going for that Morgan Freeman pocket. Didn't quite make it, because Morgan Freeman is still alive, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then she just crushed him. But she's facing a sentence of 18 to 36 years after pleading guilty to third-degree murder. So,
I can't believe I glossed over that table leg element.
yeah.
I have to come back to that because I rarely have a loose table leg lying around.
Right.
Nor do I consider myself able to remove the leg from a table usually. At least like on the rush, you know. Sometimes there's this bolt up in there. One of those like a butterfly nut, you guys. Holler in the comments.
You ain't getting that table leg off.
Yeah, you gotta get a wrench to that butterfly nut. Holla if you know what I'm talking about, that butterfly nut. Anyway, so yeah, and then you get that. Sometimes it's an old table. It's one of those nuts that's square. Like, whoa, it's a square nut.
You're like, where's the tool to take this off?
Yeah, what do you do with this? Yeah.
I need a hex screwdriver. What the? Who has a hex? Who just has a hex lying around?
Swedish people?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
We should be a Swedish podcast. I really think we should just be Swedish.
you just
media
moved
now.
to Sweden.
I don't think you even need to. It's Sweden. We can just be Swedish everywhere.
Do we have to learn how to speak Swedish?
No, not at all. We just have to. You just have to be cold.
It was really funny. Like, there's this.
Rake our forests. You just have to rake those
Yeah,
forests.
yeah. There was this cool movie called The Sound of Noise, and
Is it Swedish?
Yeah. And it's about these drummers. A little aside here. It's about these like drummers who do this like project where they just go in like public areas and make these crazy like found noise performances. Like there's this like rich politician who's like in the hospital getting surgery, and they like sneak into the hospital and perform this piece like while he's anesthetized, and they use all the equipment around. But the whole movie's dope. But what's really weird is that like in America, like hi is informal and hello is very formal, right? In Swedish, like their hello is just hi.
That's like the full one.
That's the formal. That's like oh hi, and it's like
they don't waste.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's anyway. That doesn't have anything to do with this. Where did this happen?
No, this is a demonstration of how cool Sweden is. So it has everything to do with this.
Oh yeah.
So, but what we're talking about, were the squishing, the crushinator.
Yeah, the crushing.
Where did the crushing happen?
It's not where you think.
It's funny because I knew, but then I mixed up with other stories. So it's like I'm guessing fresh for the first
you
time
are.
again. I want to say New York.
Close. Pretty close.
Okay, I'm messing it up with the biker chick that like forced oral sex on her boyfriend. That was like on the news, but like super violently, where she got like assault charges for it.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and she looked really horrifying.
Like she would do that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Nope. This happened in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's like that almost makes it charming.
Right. Small town crushing.
Small town crushing.
Small town crushing throws small town into panic.
What is Erie still small? What if they got like bigger through like industrial recognition or
They
like,
might. I actually don't.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
It's that industrial recognition, you know? That
Industrial
makes a town big, right?
Industrial crushing. Yeah.
Everyone likes to say the name of their town, so they've got to be bigger now, right? Anyway, that's
Yeah.
my logic. Join me.
Yeah. Join us in logic. Irrational logic.
Hey, was that an Ange News pick? Let's do the
That
Ange
was.
News section.
Oh, you want to? Oh,
Yeah.
we got to do Ange news first. Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys, I'm giving special favor because the secret thing that people don't know unless they actually just look on Facebook or whatever, but it still surprises people somehow.
All right.
Because of the catch level. But Ange Kerfoot is actually my wife. She bought me this cool shirt. And part of the goal of this shirt is to have me dote over her obnoxiously. No.
I think this is one of hers. Okay. I think so. I don't know. I can't tell.
Some people want to get like all anti-mush, and I'll give people crap if they're being all mushy. But hey, when something's quality, then we've got a quality correspondent and Ange Kerfoot busting out news article events. So we've got like a clump of these Ange News ones that I think deserve their own stinger, and it goes like this.
Yeah. I agree. I concur.
So I picked that one at random, and now it's forever tied to that.
Yep.
Oh well.
So all right, this one seems like an Ange one. So this could be another guess where the fuck it happened, because who would even do this?
Perfect. I was hoping it would hook together like that.
So an elementary school principal decided to ban candy canes at school.
Yeah.
Because
I thought, okay, elementary school, maybe kids are choking. I mean, it's got kind of that grabby hook. I thought it was for not choking.
see, that's one way, or because when you can suck on a candy cane such that the point gets really sharp. You could probably shank someone with a candy cane. I bet someone's done that.
For sure.
At least in prison, but probably outside of prison multiple times.
Not to give anyone any ideas.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to do that? I mean, just Google how to kill someone with a candy cane.
There's probably better ways to like sharpen it too, like a Bowie knife.
Yeah.
Is that the thing, right?
Yeah, totally.
David Bowie knife.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Okay.
Crocodile David Bowie Dundee. Use that to You know.
The title of this podcast is Crocodile David Bowie Dundee.
All right. Anyway, but that was the reasoning,
Yeah.
right? It was because the candy cane resembles the letter J, and we all know what starts with J.
Only one thing. It could only mean one thing.
Yeah, it's the weirdest letter in the alphabet. Jesus.
Yeah.
And he didn't want students to offend other students who don't celebrate Christmas.
Because I know whenever I got a candy cane as a kid, I immediately turned it upside down and started going on and on about Jesus to my
Right?
friends.
Yeah.
Just annoying the crap out of them.
I mean, but
Oppressively, even.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
totally oppressing their rights with my Jesus talk.
here's what I think is really going on, right? All right, so J also stands for Jew, right?
Dun, dun.
So he's actually trying to prevent the Jewish takeover by George Soros invading our elementary schools. He's saving the kids.
He is.
Yeah, from George Soros. He's a philanthropist and supports democracy around the globe. But
That's
he's
right.
also a globalist and probably Satan.
But of course, we'd say that because we're shills for George Soros, too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I am enjoying the paycheck. I got to say that. Oh, man.
Yeah, I would say that it clearly appears to be too small of a paycheck.
Yeah. They could print it on larger paper.
It's not helping us impress anyone.
It is
We're not doing if this is flaunting our George Soros money.
Yeah, we're doing it really shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of floss to be flaunting. It looks like.
Right.
Yeah, we're low in the. Oh man, there's one more word that I just got to get out. It's the, not fleek. Fleek is old.
Yeah.
Fleek's out. It's never mind.
That was earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, it probably started.
Swag lasted a long time.
Yeah.
Swag still counts as a thing that we don't have that I'm trying to point out.
Yeah, but we should have because that's what it stands for, actually. It's an acronym.
Stuff we all get.
Yep.
So we should all have it.
Yeah.
Dang,
But we
Soros,
don't.
hook it up. That's this problem with
False
this.
advertising.
Yeah,
Fucking George Soros.
yeah, where's that Soros money going?
Soros swag.
All right, so another, and I'm
But
just
anyway,
taking
so-
over the. If you see if any of these segue to another thing we have too, it's cool
Yeah.
too.
But anyway, so the whole Christmas fucking thing is like killing me anymore, man. And it has for years. Like I've been totally disillusioned with Christmas for so long. Because there's always like Fox News always starts up their war on Christmas thing because people don't want to say Merry Christmas. They want to say Happy Holidays because, surprise, not everyone fucking celebrates Christmas.
Fox has an issue with that. Is
Oh,
this weird?
dude, there's-
I didn't know anyone took a stand against
Bill
that.
O'Reilly, it's a yearly thing that when Bill O'Reilly was still on Fox, it was like always the war on Christmas, man.
I felt like that was happening at In-N-Out this week because I went to In-N-Out and they gave me a Christmas card, and the language was very specific. The guy was like, and they're all friendly and they're young there and they're just like have fun saying the In-N-Out things. They're like, hey, here's your receipt and here's this Christmas card for us because we just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. And they hands it to me and it's like Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And it all like I'm like, is this feeling like I don't know, something feels a little heavy-handed here.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, the thing I never understood about the war. Well, besides that, it's totally like a made-up thing. Is that like the majority of Americans celebrate Christmas, right? We're like,
Yeah, it's not
Extremely
a
marketed-
underprivileged minority or something.
yeah, like, oh, you can't say like Merry Christmas to everyone. Like, oh, you have to say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. You're so fucking oppressed. Jesus Christ.
Not only
like,
that, but it's only really enforced on like a public figure. If you're just a normal dude wishing everybody Merry Christmas, no one's gonna be like, ah.
Yeah.
No one's gonna like shush you.
Yeah,
You can,
right.
Like, there's no. You've said this before. There's no war on people saying Merry Christmas to each other. It's just awkward for like a public official or someone in the media or someone doing something that's to the public to use that greeting because it's alienating when you put it in the context of the world. Because
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
even. It's not even in the top. It's like the third at best most popular religion in the world.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
last I checked, Islam was number one, followed by one of the Buddhisms. But I don't know. I think it's between third and fifth most
Yeah,
common
yeah,
religion.
yeah.
So just because it's the majority in this country, it doesn't mean that our media should reflect that, because our media shouldn't reflect any bias like that. It's been like a
and really,
tradition.
like,
We're founded on that as a country.
yeah, and like, so this is my thing too, like, right, like the Christmas season, besides being about consumerism, should be about like spreading goodwill towards men, right? Like
Oh,
that's the whole shtick, or one of them at least. And like saying Happy Holidays does that. It's like more inclusive.
it
It's
totally
not
is.
exclusive.
Which is more capitalist too, to be more
Yeah, you
inclusive.
get more people. Yeah, like include. You want everyone to buy your shit, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
But for In and Out, I can see it being part of corporate culture.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, there's no hate in that. It's not like their corporate culture is like, don't hire gays. But if the corporate culture is like really Christian, I don't have a problem with that. It's charming. That's why I'll eat at some Hindu place. It's like all multi-armed stuff. I'm down with that. I like their corporate
Yeah,
culture.
Shiva. Yeah,
Yeah, it's Shiva me down.
creator and the destroyer
Great.
with 8 arms. Who doesn't want a chick with 8 arms?
And that's the theme of many restaurants that I enjoy. Who doesn't want a chick with 8 arms?
I'm just saying,
It's like a 4-pack.
right? You know what I'm saying?
That's like the best part of a lady, is the arms. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
especially if there's multiple of them.
yeah, arming around.
Yeah.
You guys know when you're talking about these like looking at parts. That's a getting work done part. The arms get chores done and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. And why we still don't have any female viewers, or listeners / viewers.
No,
whatever.
we have an amazing female news correspondent, but it
Yeah.
doesn't like count as a listener.
One.
No, she isn't work, and was like not work appropriate enough. for
No,
me to
not
put
at
it
all.
on.
Yeah, so everyone, candy canes are offensive to everyone.
Yeah,
So
because they throw Jesus in your face.
yeah,
They just
They're
totally
not-
abrasively
they're not
Jesus you
delicious little
out.
treats that you could also use as weapons to defeat the evil Krampus as he sneaks in your house to steal your soul. I actually kind of want to like push Krampus, man. I
Right.
like the idea. Like he's actually kidnapping shit little kids and just throwing them in his little toy making prison.
There's another element about this Krampus thing that's great, and that's that if we're looking at this like holistically and what holidays really mean to society and culture, Halloween's growing. Halloween's getting more popular. Halloween's blowing up, and Christmas is on the decline. People were worried about it dying. People were worried about wars against it. There's no war on Halloween, but the thing is, Halloween has never professed to be anything not commercial.
Yeah,
Halloween is fully aware of its own satire. We know we're not worshiping devils or really dead people walking around or whatever. It's just a bunch of pretend, and we know we spend money on it, and we love it. And there's no qualms about that. And I think the pretending it's about peace and getting along instead of just everybody getting drunk and getting along is what's clouding up the Christmas.
yeah, right.
More nog. Turn up the nog.
Yeah, dude,
Nog it up, Krampus it up. We
Turn-
need more demons. Christmas needs more demons,
it does. It would make it more interesting.
right?
You know what I mean?
And we'd take it less seriously because
Yeah.
we'd all get along against the demons.
Right?
Yeah.
We all join it. We have something to fight.
And then some people get to pretend to be demons.
Because
And
then we
can
get
pretend
to, like,
hate
fight
them.
for something.
Totally.
You know?
And you can have people that have a streak of wanting to be antagonistic and contrarian that
But it's fun.
and that can just play demons and be evil for fun, like Halloween. I think it gets something out. I think you get to like
where
play
this is
bad,
going.
play
Yeah,
bad
I like
guys.
where that's going. You know what's weird about Halloween, though, in recent years, is that it's really drifted away from, like, just normal trick-or-treating
Yeah.
and, like, just
It's like
weird,
barely done, yeah.
and, like, weird just fear that people are always looking to kidnap kids or something, or, like, eat children or put razor blades or give kids drugs for free. Never going to happen. And now it's all like this trunk or treat things, which I
know
guess is
drugs
cool.
are expensive. Who's these people
Yeah.
giving drugs away to kids? How are they getting that money?
Yeah, I'm
They
going
get-
trick or treating in your neighborhood next
Yeah,
year.
where do you get
Shit.
those cheap drugs? Holy
Dressing
shit!
up as a little kid.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna go down.
But like, I don't know, it just trips me out, like the mass hysteria. It's not even like hysteria, but it's just like the shift from when we were kids. It was like, yeah, all right, have fun, like come back with your pillowcase or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, and,
totally.
and then you come back some years and you're like, the high school kids took my pillowcase full of candy. You know.
That was the thing. Yeah.
But now it's like,
I was like, why you got What? Hey, I come home and like, why you got all these multiple pillowcases of candy?
Right. Oh no, it's not candy. It's drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were just handing them out willy
If
nilly.
you've ever owed someone money for drugs, you would not be thinking that people can afford to just give drugs away to kids.
Silly notion. Silly
Yeah,
notion.
we've got unique perspectives for you here.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. All right. Anyway. All right. I guess we should dive into this.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, it is.
I'm acting as if I know what you're going to dive into.
Yeah, you do. We're on that psychic tip. You know what I mean? So, Richland. Oh yeah, where did that happen? The last story. Where did that happen?
Oh, that's right. We fucking diffed it on our own game.
Yeah.
That one, I want to say Arizona. No,
No.
it can't be. No, I
Can't
didn't.
be.
That was my final answer. I didn't put the piece down.
You didn't.
I didn't let go of the piece.
Yeah. You didn't finish the sentence.
I'm gonna say New Jersey,
I mean, kind of close because it starts with an N, but it was Nebraska.
Nebraska. Oh yeah. Old
This guy.
Brasky.
This guy knows. All right, so this is pretty funny.
Wait, what was the thing that happened in Nebraska?
The candy cane thing?
Okay, you guys,
Yeah.
take your Nebraska candy canes and get out
I
of
think we
Nebraska. with
ranted
them.
and tangented on,
As if that's
for
the
10
only
minutes.
rant occurring in my
Yeah.
mind simultaneously.
right? Anyway, all right, so we're not going to guess where this is from because no one really cares anyway. But so the Richland, Washington Police Department posted on Facebook some like post.
Because Washington is like on social media, even the
Right.
whole police department's like, "Yo, hey, what's up, relatives? We got these."
Yeah. So they put a post out on Facebook. Wanted Wednesday, clever.
That's charming.
Make
yeah.
a day out of it.
Hey,
you know?
don't just give me random wanted notices. That's not why I'm your friend on Facebook.
Yeah, there's
I want
there's
a
tons
charm.
of them. There's
Wanted
like
Wednesday.
they're like Titty Tuesday, No Fap Friday, Catterday. There's tons of them. It depends what
Threw your car in a ditch Thursday.
Yeah,
Who
whatever
threw their
inter-
car in a ditch this
whatever
week?
internet circles you run in. There's tons of them. But they posted Wanted Wednesday, Anthony Akers, parentheses 38 because that's important.
Yeah, even their social media, they have to use the
Right.
the little things of like their age in parentheses, or it's not
Yeah,
official
yeah.
document.
Is wanted by the Department of Corrections for failure to comply. And then the dude responds,
Yeah,
calm down.
messages back.
I'm going to turn myself in.
Yeah, like they're buddies. Like, all right, Jeff, you took this too far. You'd have to post this.
Oh, that's funny.
It's charming because the police department looks like it's just some dude on Facebook that like made a thing. It's like the actual police department.
but it's funny because they responded because this wasn't a post. It wasn't like a personal message or anything. And they responded, thank you. We'll be open for here and should be here in the next 48 hours, whatever.
That's my gesture of I'm wafting you in.
Yeah. And then someone asks, has he turned himself in? And they say, the police department responds, he has not. And dude said, Anthony Akers is a man's word is all he got sometimes, and it seems like you don't keep your word.
The police department said that?
No, just some dude. But,
Take that, talking to the cops like that. Sassy.
yeah, I don't know. It's just hilarious. Like,
Calm down, I'll turn myself in. When I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it.
Like, he was like, yeah, I'm going to turn myself in as he's like walking out the door.
Yeah.
But-
Meanwhile, there was some cop at the station was like traces IP address, and they're like, dude,
like,
it doesn't
"We can't
work
do
like
that."
that. It's like cable internet. It's like half his town has that IP address. Don't even like. No, that's what they do on TV. They trace the IP.
They're like, super hack.
No, enhance.
Hacker man.
So anyway, what's up, Chris?
How's it going, guys?
Now
up?
is the time when we learn which microphone you're on. Okay, it's this
Is
one.
it this one or is it this one?
Well, you're lucky because I turned that second one up just in time
Why not
for
both?
them to hear that second as this one. Otherwise, we'd really look unprofessional. No, we might have Yoshi in from last episode. He might pop in, so that's why the other mic's there. also, but
Might,
sometimes you seem like you need a second mic, so it was like that
Oh,
option
I just
too.
mean like it's got to get the double the voice volume in this room.
For sure. You get
what it
that
is.
proximity effect for the intimacy, and then you got this one over here for the ambiance, because that's a thing, right? The ambiance, get that, turn that ambiance knob
Ambiance
up.
mic.
Yeah, I
You
gotta
just
make
want to
sure.
make sure that every time I talk, not only that, but you can also hear me breathe.
Yeah, we
know?
totally. That's so great. I accidentally had this blasting once, and it just compressed instead of clipping on
Yeah.
the feed that went out to Facebook. But because of the compression, you could hear like all of my. It's just like so off-putting. I have headphones on right now too, and it's just I creep myself out so hard. Hey, you've got a couple. I left those plugged in because I only needed 2 lines for the feed. If you want to headphone yourself,
Cool.
if you want to
Sounds
be
good to me.
phony,
Yeah. Now I
phony
can
on your
hear it.
head.
Wow, now I can really hear you.
Yeah. Now
Sounds
you can
great.
hear me
It's
when
so
I go.
different.
Yep. Okay.
What's
so
up,
anyway,
Waz?
we're learning. We got learning and growing to do. We've got a bunch of things that Ange turned in, crack correspondent, news time. That there's like a string between them of sneakfulness, right? Come on, kind of. Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You might have to delve into this one. I mean, I think it's interesting.
It's delving time.
Yeah, it's delving time. The group singing "Kiss the Girl" from A Little Mermaid, the acapella group, and it sprouted some controversy because apparently it makes the dude seem like a wuss if he isn't just gonna like jam his tongue down her throat.
Yeah, that particular song, because at first I'm like, okay, Little Mermaid doesn't seem very controversial because she wants the dude, and you know that the whole way. Unlike Beauty and the Beast, which is like the story of Stockholm Syndrome, where she's like a captor and falls in love with the person that's got her as a prisoner.
Right.
But then, like in that song, in that context, it's kind of like implies that guys should be always making this first move. And certain guys get the wrong idea with that and are like way hella too forward. And I don't know, man. Mothers teach your sons.
And and Chris,
Wait till there's fish dancing around you singing. Then it's totally cool. You can see it in her eyes. There's fish dancing. And
Right.
she would tell the fish to shut up if she wasn't down with that song. That's what I'm seeing. Is like people need to look at the context of the movie.
and
Alright.
I mean, it's also with HC or Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, she
yeah.
couldn't talk.
Yeah.
There's sea life dancing around. It's not like there isn't clues.
Yeah.
Like every relationship is not going to start with a woman commanding when the kissing happens. There's going to be a few choice people in life that their first makeout session doesn't have a discussion and a handshake before it. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen before, but maybe a few people might do that in their lives. Fucking maybe sneak a little whisper on the ear, and then you work down from the ear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did the Little Mermaid actually find true love underneath the sea using like
Seems
Bumble
like
or
it.
something?
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, they fell in love. He read the clues right. I know mothers got to teach their sons to be looking out for these clues and not just be thinking they can just toss a chick in a canoe and go at her. It's not just the canoe.
It wasn't like the original, like the very original Little Mermaid story, like pretty fucked up. Like, didn't she die?
The original Mermaid story is actually extrally dark. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Disney
right?
came around and then like kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But essentially, The Little Mermaid is actually a more dark version understanding of ascending transformation and like knowledge. I mean, going from like this aquatic babe to actually, be capable of ascending out of water and possibly being in a relationship with a man.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough.
So there's more about her like land intellect growth in the book. That's
right.
cool.
Yeah, like fish out of water
Yeah.
kind of deal. And it's funny that we bringing this up because I was actually talking to someone about this in Denmark. They're the land of the fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I actually went to Christian Andersen's house, and if you go in there and you check it out, you will actually see how dark and morbid he actually was.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's almost like he was the Edgar Allan Poe of Northern Europe at the time, and
It's just crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's just even more interesting because there was actually a lot of like pagan dark magic ascending knowledge when it came to understanding the Little Mermaid and her story. But if you actually read the book, it doesn't go out so well for everybody in the end. So, yeah, it's all my 2 cents on that. But
Yeah, and a lot of like fairy tales were like that are like are popularized today, and they're all like happy endings. But like the original versions were all like pretty dark.
like Velveteen Rabbit, that's another one.
Oh, that book's so sad.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
one, yeah.
I was just over at the Velveteen Rabbit, the bar on Main Street the other day,
Just thinking about dead
thinking
kids.
about dead kids,
Damn.
and also thinking about maybe
burning your beloved toys of your childhood.
I love doing that. I actually loved blowing up my toys with fireworks.
Have you hoarded some to this point? You're like, it's time. They've ripened.
Yeah, it's like I lock them in a jail cell, and I'm like,
It's that level.
today's your day.
I mean, you're saying this in present tense. Like, this sounds like something I did in the past. You're like, no, recently I pulled out this shoebox. I was like, it's your time.
And they're making a Toy Story 3 or 4.
I was going to say,
Four,
Four.
yeah.
They
Don't
made the
be-
3. They made a 4 now.
Yeah.
we can't. Three's currently the best one, you know. Three's the one that made me
How's-
cry. Only fucking, man, dude, if you didn't cry in Toy Story 3, you didn't see it in the theater.
Oh,
'Cause
man.
If it's in your face and they're like, potato cuddling for their lives, going into this furnace and
Oh,
shit.
God.
Like, oh, it's
Spoiler
the last time.
alert.
Oh yeah,
10
no,
years
shit,
later.
you know, you blew it if you didn't cry to Toy Story 3 yet.
Yeah.
You're dead inside now.
Toy Story 1 was like the original, like, oh, happy ending. Toy Story 2 is almost like, okay, we got some
can
extra
we do it as a
characters.
romantic comedy?
Do a romantic comedy. Toy Story 3 was like 10 years in the making.
Yeah, it was so epic.
You know,
it was
and
like
so-
Toy Story 1 revisited.
So what about this Toy Story 4 movie that's about to come up? Speaking about toys, is there going to be... I want to see another scene where, some evil kid wants to, like, blow up their toys.
I just want to see Tim Allen working.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Damn.
That's
What
great.
has he been up to?
I don't know, but
Nothing.
I want
I think
it.
he had a-
I miss him.
Yeah.
He had like a show, a new show for a while, but he was pretty like anti-Obama or just like anti-Democrat, and was really like vocal about it, and then they just canned him.
He just, like, went silent.
I don't care if we're just
Yeah.
gonna talk about tools and shit.
Yeah, yo, it's old
Grunting
time, man.
and old cars. I'm down. Fuck it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, tools and cocaine, that's all I'm in.
Oh, man. I actually... I kind of missed that show almost. Imagine if they brought it back.
I don't know how much it hold up because I loved it as a kid. Like,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because my dad used to watch it all the time.
I had
yeah.
a-
I just
had a-
loved sitcoms in general growing
Yeah.
up.
And that his neighbor is like, howdy, neighbor. You never saw his face. That
Yeah.
guy would have been so famous.
But when I eventually saw his face, I've never been able to forget it. I can picture it to this day.
I can't.
And they eventually revealed his face.
Just a blank. Like, I still see the fence.
I
Yeah.
can,
Are
I
they-
can, they should have like blurred it like in the final
Right?
episode.
Well, they did that a few times where they're like, because they did it like the live studio.
Yeah.
And he would come out with little like fence.
He would hold
on the
a
stick.
fence
He had like the
on
the
a
fence
stick
on
in
a
front of
stick
his
that
face.
would go around his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
they'd come out in front of the audience
It
and
was
stuff.
a mystery. That was a clever little.
It was like the Stig.
gag. Yeah.
Were you guys excited when we finally found out who the Stig is? That's from Top Gear, a British car
The
show.
Stig.
That's
No,
really
I never
popular.
really got into Top Gear,
That
but
was a huge Top Gear. Hey, Chris, do you want some wine?
Yes.
it comes in a
It's
box.
experimental wine.
Oh my God, is it in a box?
Yeah.
Only.
Box wine is the best wine.
When you pay like, it's like the price of 1 or 2 bottles for like 6 bottles. I can't buy wine any other way, man. So, shoot.
I mean, the man makes a good point.
Right?
Right?
Should I slap the box like a nice boob or something, or
Is that something other people do?
Yeah, it's called slapping the bag, bro.
That's really a thing?
Yeah,
I
it is
just
a slapping
thought that
the
was
bag.
like me and some weird friends
No.
from forever ago.
No, we go hiking and slap the bag on the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, there's no better way to hydrate on a good hike than wine.
I'm so
So-
stoked that there's like other people that did this, that this is like more of a broader American cultural phenomenon than I thought.
Yeah, people would come up to me like, I would be so sad if like or feel extremely horrible if there was like some super dehydrated person on the trail that really needed water. It's like,
You're like,
I have
a
wine.
diuretic. All I have is a bunch of diuretic. You want to pee more?
Yeah, the Romans used to do it. It'll work for you. Yeah. You don't need water.
No, wine hikes are a legend.
Yeah, wine hikes are amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead and open the top then.
So
What's weird about this one is it's not the classic. It's not Franzia. The Lees I went to, someone just like dominated the Franzia.
I was about to say, this is not Franzia. This
No.
looks like the knockoff brand of Franzia, so I'm a bit worried.
I was too, but it turns out this. Also, what worried me is it's called Delicious Blush. It's like, who are you trying to convince here with that marketing? You're really
Right.
trying to remind me, hey, this
Dangerous.
is the delicious
Yeah.
one.
Dangerous
But I
move.
think it's appropriate because I think that there's a lot of types of wine that people really like that I don't understand why they like that gross shit. I like my wine to come as close as possible to Capri Sun. That's my holy grail. The more I'm thinking about Pacific Cooler, the better wine it is.
Respect the pouch.
Yeah.
Respect it.
This is a big pouch and it's very juicy.
That's my pouch right
And
there.
because there's someone else I've discovered in the world that remembers slapping the bag. Because that was, man, I remember my 20s, maybe slapping the bag.
You gotta slap
Here
that
you
bag.
go.
With it. Yeah.
Have the raw bag.
I think I just like, this is actually bringing me back to like 2006.
What's
Time
funny
travel
though
is-
is, as an adult, I'm putting it back in the box later to carry on dignified. But right now, yeah, for some reason that releases the tannins supposedly.
Yeah.
We had to ritualistically slap it before each time.
This is actually more of a, I used to think of it more as like an IV, emergency IV, you know?
Right.
So,
You can
I'm
tell I
running
just
low,
got that
boys.
today too.
I'm
That's a
running
big
low.
bag. Yeah.
that really is Capri.
I was gonna play like
Capri Sun.
right? Didn't I pick a tasty? That's that.
Let me get it.
It's a juicy wine.
If it's like,
Slap that.
Right, I don't have to slap it.
You didn't slap.
I gotta slap it.
All right, man.
It's a nozzle.
This is the thing. If you're tuning in now, and you're not having a really fun time,
Ah,
Yes.
yeah,
Let me do that. More time.
yeah. That's yeah, Capri
you're
Sun
not
town.
among us. Well, this is the real fun time zone.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for you if you're tuning in and you're not having a real fun time. I hope for this moment you can find like a ray of hope and sunshine at the end of your tunnel and see that, hey, fun times can be had by just being a little dumber. Maybe just don't think so hard about everything. And look, I mean, we're considered relatively smart people in our circles, but right now we're not demonstrating that whatsoever. We're trying to talk intelligently about news items that we thought we were intelligent when we found them.
We don't have
But we're
to,
also
man.
slapping a bag of wine because stupid people get more done.
Stay
That's the
classy,
thing.
Vegas. Stay
Yeah.
classy.
You know, it's like what always trips me out about wine is they've done a lot of studies like blind taste tests, and our perception of the taste of wine is totally dependent on like how much it costs in the label, which really trips me out. Like you can put a shitty wine in an expensive
Yeah.
bottle, and
a
people are
total
like,
scam.
"Oh, that's the best wine. That wine totally tastes better." And it could be the same wine from a shitty bottle, but psychologically, it's all branding, man.
That's also what's funny is that if I had to meet up with some really important clients and they all of a sudden wanted to meet up at a strip club and you wanted to have bottled service, I would only get one bottle and then I would somehow sneak in my own cheap bottle and I would refill that expensive $150 bottle with my bottle and people still think it was the same.
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah,
I am not joking.
I love that like people didn't see you doing that though, because pouring from one bottle into another, unless you're just like, why is he carrying around a funnel? I'm Funnel Joe. I always have a funnel. They just call me Funnel Joe. I'm the guy with the funnel. So don't question Funnel Joe. He's got funnels.
I
He's
actually
in
was
the
just really
funnel
good at
business.
pouring it, but
Damn, man. I would. The more I drank, the more I'd need the funnel for sure.
right. You got to keep yourself on the level, though.
Man,
keep,
this is-
keep the deception up. You know.
It's
Look
so
at
cool
you.
and nice. I want to just hold it in my lap, but it's gonna make it so warm and gross.
it's like the new Beanie Baby. It's like the 21-year-old.
This is a Beanie Baby. It's so great. Oh, I'll pet it. Oh, I like the fabric. This sound.
Oh my god.
You guys, I bet you're thirsty now.
You should give me that bag of
I know. You got
I
it.
want to suck the blood out of that Beanie Baby.
YouTube.
Everyone go get some.
Hey, you on iTunes.
box
Don't forget, iTunes reviews are really hard to get. So, let's do that NPR pitch. If you like what you've enjoyed so far, just give us one of those things where you talk about us in iTunes and buy merch. Real talk, though, we never bring up merch. We're so nice and good about not talking about our merch. And we've got some fire merch right now. I made a new t-shirt with an awesome new vector logo referencing a retro technology. And it's sincere, too, because I actually like retro technologies. I'm not just, talking about tapes because tapes or whatever. Excuse me, that almost had drool involved.
Was there someone behind us?
No.
Is there a Cookie Monster behind us?
Oh, there's that running thing where if you have any kind of burp or clear your throat or anything, you have to turn it into a muted scream so that any disgusting body noise the audience hears is accompanied with a sound of perceived pain. So that there's schadenfreude to cover up with how some people... I'm one of those people that certain noises that could annoy some people definitely for sure annoy me. I'm definitely going to be one of those people that's like, fuck that squeaky sign. Damn, turn off your fryer beeping. I go to get fast food and God, the fryer in the back that's beeping and the beep's kind of out of tune at first. It's like,
how do people deal with that on a day-to-day basis?
I have no idea.
I would fucking shoot myself.
It feels like actual pain happening.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's not painful. So I don't know where I was going with that, but that's what I'm saying.
No one does.
Yeah. You guys,
all right,
get a bag of wine. It comes in a box. You don't buy it as a bag. Man, that could be a marketing thing though, to purchase it just bag.
Yeah, I would seriously just have a boxed wine called Slap the Bag. And then that culture would just market itself, to be honest with you.
Apparently, it's one of those parallel thought things to where people independently around the world have realized the delight of slapping the bag.
While hiking.
Hiking, too, is the weird thing. That wine hike, man. Thanks, California. Gosh, that's tragic how long it's going to take for a lot of that to grow back. Particularly people's livelihoods that burned down in California lately.
Yeah.
It's always been kind of hip for California to be on fire. But man, lately, it's getting over the top. It's getting excessive.
Yeah, I get that.
This one's for you guys. This one's for California.
We love you, Cali.
Yep. All right.
I shouldn't have waterfalled that in the mic. Sorry.
No. Yeah, no.
Actually, it sounds like something else. It sounds like it can be perceived as so many different things.
Just pour it all over the mic. It'll be like a rap video.
Here, you can be bag guardian.
I'd be bag guardian. Okay.
I get to take it home. Don't dare it.
Dude, it's like baby proof. It's like drunk.
It's surprisingly tough.
It's surprisingly tough. It's like the only safe way to pass around wine to your elders at the dinner table.
It's like, oh, you bag wine for Christmas.
Oh golly! Here, grab a handful of it. It looks like your skin. All wrinkly and
terrible,
flushed.
I actually want to. Okay, no one steal this idea from me. I'm gonna make a backpack that is suspending this and actually has a valve where you press. And you have this on speed dial when it comes to when you need wine the most, like a Camelback.
I like this idea a lot because it's so much better than trying to clean a Camelback. Because here you've got a sugary substance that will necessitate cleaning the lines unless you have this product that depends on the disposability of your wine bag. It's just like an outer carrying pouch. So it's like you're like a wine kangaroo.
Yes.
So we call it the Wineroo.
The Wineroo.
As if it's my idea now.
Wineroo.
We'll call it the Wineroo.
Oh, man.
I'm using inclusive language.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 35%. How's that?
Dude, that's more than a third.
By 5.
Speaking of math segue, math. Hold on. Math. Sorry. Whoa. Math.
Getting crazy.
We've got math news. We got turned up. Sorry about that.
We got
turned on by the numbers.
Shit's getting
crazy up in here. All right. Now I gotta find it.
This is gonna be like we had this one episode where I had a clacker, a slate, as I'm sure you'd prefer I call it, because we usually use proper terminology when you and I talk. So I had this slate that I just called a clacker because it was a cheap slate. It was like the $20 one from B&K or whatever.
Okay.
And I had it for some gig like after the show, but like Art, the guitarist, had his kid, one of his kids, and I thought it would be a good idea to give that kid the clacker, and she just clacked away at it the whole episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the episode was just dotted with these like, yeah, and it would cut through all the mics, especially because I just had that blue mic on my phone for the Facebook feed, but it wasn't tapped in to the mixer yet, so it was just like room mic getting this clack just dominating everything. It was a, when you've got the things where it's like a sharp sound, transients. It was just like a transient sound that's like one of those sounds that's louder than the sound system should be capable of reproducing because of the resonance of it. Yeah, it was gnarly. That's season 1, you guys. Go explore season 1 if you dare.
Go explore, yeah. Sure.
That's why we do seasons every 27 episodes, because
we like to distance
any more than that is like you don't want to just start there.
Yeah.
You want to come in. You want to be in the last 27 for sure. Don't start at the beginning with this podcast of all podcasts. Unless you really think we're cool.
All right, math news.
Oh yeah, you guys, math news.
Everyone loves math, right?
Everybody gets so excited about things that are just super mathematical.
All right, so.
No, this is simple. Don't fast forward. This is easy math.
Yeah, it's easy. But it's not even about the math, right?
No, it's more about the mysterious. Right. Pretend it's like Egyptian hieroglyph formula time.
Yeah. All right, so long story short, maybe. All right, there was this anime that was released that was like about time travel and all this shit, right? It was released in a non-linear order. Okay. When it first broadcast. Then when the DVD was released, they mixed up the sequence of the episodes. So then it came around, what's the shortest amount of time or permutations that you could watch every possible combination of episodes?
And like, what's the simplest formula you could make
to
figure that
out?
Yeah.
And which seems like something we don't care about, but in math, like, they care about that kind of stuff.
How quickly can you find every order that these episodes can be in?
Yeah,
with one simple little formula.
Exactly, that's the way to put it.
And you said this is just me like trying to show off how much I remember from us talking about this earlier, but
you
said it's part of list theory?
Set theory.
Set theory.
Yeah.
Okay, like set of numbers.
Yeah.
Put them
which
in
is
order,
really interesting.
all the different orders. What's the formula for that?
Go check it out. Anyway, but that's not the new. So this is like, I don't know, like a 15-year-old math problem or something, 25 years, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 20-something years people have been trying to figure out the best way to solve this math mystery.
So
somehow in math, there's a formula for this.
Yeah. But an anonymous poster on 4chan.
Of course it's on 4chan.
The original Anon, of course it's on 4chan. That was in his notes.
Not just 4chan. The fucking anime board.
Yeah, it wasn't on B.
Oh, Jesus.
It wasn't on...
yeah, right?
I don't even want to get into that one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, so this anonymous poster on 4chan figured that shit out, developed a proof, and it holds up. So this just anonymous dude on the 4chan anime board solved this, like, multi-year math problem.
Yeah,
and
just thinking it was some challenge, not even thinking he was solving something the world
what a troll, dude.
Yeah,
what a troll, man. Yeah.
And he's like on the paper for the proof, like, but
as anonymous 4chan.
Anonymous 4chan poster. Like, just stupid.
I mean, of all the people advocating for anonymity on the internet, this is an example of anonymity gone wrong for the user.
Right?
4chan that was once
proof
useless to most people.
Now developed a math proof.
Now developed math proofs, yes.
Yeah. 4chan, how useful it's been to humanity is hilariously much. Because, like, okay, so just this image posting board, mainly anime fans. And now it's part of the history of the internet for rogue coalitions of people that have avenged murders, kidnappings, solved mysteries, all kinds of crazy.
Anonymous hackers exposing people.
Saved people from Scientology.
Save people from the squirrels from
Yeah.
breaking into their house.
Knocked over greeting card stands in front of.
That's still the best, man.
I was
the
part of
best.
that. There was this
Still
live
classic.
video feed of this
Yeah,
greeting
yeah,
card
yeah.
stand, and people kept posting live shots from it saying, okay, who's going to knock it over? Who lives in this area? So we can see this thing got knocked over, and people would keep showing up and dancing next to it and stuff. It was like a sensation, the stupid live webcam feed in front of someone's shop.
Yeah, it was some like kiosk with a,
Yeah, some
a,
kiosk in New York, I
a
think.
postcard stand.
Yeah.
See, that's what I call free advertisement.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should have live feeds. Tune in right now. Share it. Share a goddamn live feed.
Yeah. Just that's 4chan for you.
I don't mean to sound desperate, but I'm just having a good time, and I want other people to.
I don't like there was one
Yeah, you suck that bag. You suck that bag.
there was like one thread
almost
on,
aspirated it with that. That's so funny.
there was like one thread on 4chan that was about
Give
art
it to me.
and what
yeah.
Give me the bag.
Damn, bag hog.
And
It's
what-
turned into that. Sorry, it's one of those.
and what the meaning of art was, right? And so this dude just posted like anything can be art. Even this post is
God.
art. And then he printed it out and framed it and sold it on eBay for 35 grand.
35 grand it got
Yeah.
up to.
Yeah,
Fuck.
because some people with way too much money are stupid.
Okay, that's one of the best 4chan stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's a lid on the bottle there.
Actually, there was this one incident where this man on eBay said, for this holiday season, I cannot offer you love and respect, but my mother can write you the most endearing, heartwarming letter to you, personally signed by her. And there were over 500,000 people betting on this letter.
Holy shit.
Like auctioning on eBay.
Auctioning.
Yeah. Wow.
And it went for a good 25 grand.
Yeah. Dude, like stupid shit on eBay is like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
You guys got stars in my eyes right now.
Right? I'm like, what kind of stupid shit could but you gotta get it's all
You gotta
about the
be
story.
really. You have to really think it out, though. Yeah.
Have you seen those Craigslist commercials? Those successful Craigslist commercials, like the new 1990, well, not new, but like the 1998 Nissan Maxima, complete with all-wheel drive, full wheels, and an all-suspension drive, guaranteed to give you a satisfactory drive and transportation from point A to B most of the time.
So it's like a legit modern car commercial based on a Craigslist ad.
It was basically
great.
you know, this guy's girlfriend was having a hard time selling her car, and he was in production like myself, and decided to make such a professional
man.
commercial that it actually oversold the value of the car because so many people were bidding on the
So-
car.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to have
so
that
great. That's a
car
lesson. That's
that
what
went
you're teaching us.
viral on the internet.
Oh my god!
It was such a sensation. So now because I'm a part of a production crew, at least more than one, I feel like everything I want to sell now on Craigslist. Well, I don't do that anymore, but like eBay or like Let Go or whatever. It's almost like it's like, hey, let's make this viral video to make Kelly Blue Book like not even relevant.
Yeah.
So
Well, just the idea of hyperbole or like just massively over glorifying something more mundane is hysterical to me, and I feel like it's not used enough in advertising anymore. So there's like so many products that I've fantasized about getting a crew together and doing like a full-on production for like an ad for this
Exactly.
product, like it's like a
it
feature
doesn't-
film.
It goes way over its value
Yeah.
if the actual ideology of whatever you're trying to sell is viral and everyone
Yeah.
looks at it. It's like everyone looks at you and says, "Oh my God, that's the car from that." It got over 25 million views on like Facebook or some shit.
I would love to
So
make
crazy.
like you're rolling into this touching like Hallmark-esque situation where it's like touched by an angel moment, and then at the end like a mother hands her shivering young daughter Tums, just like this. It's just heartburn. It's like Tums.
That's it.
That's one of my dreams, you guys. I'm giving them away.
Yeah. All right, this one's a little. You guys will probably enjoy this and can speak more to the technical side than I can. Japan's launching their first 8K television channel.
Oh my God, it's finally happened.
16 times more data than 4K. Because
It's just-
1080p is already pretty heavy.
Dude, it's redundant. How more realistic can you get?
Right? Like, there's
Well-
a point of diminishing returns where, like, we can't even tell. It doesn't fucking matter anymore, right?
The world at
Like-
large
Yeah.
is staying at 4K for a long time because 1080p is already more than we can tell the difference. It's already so hard to tell the difference between 1080p and 4K, you know, unless you've got that HDR on the 4K and you don't have it on the 1080p. Because a lot of people are thinking, they're like, oh, that 4K, though, I really saw the difference. And really what they're seeing is the deeper color depth of the HDR.
Right.
So you can do HDR with 1080p and you'll have that same deep color depth and brightness dynamics too.
Right.
So yeah, it's there. But this jump to 8K, first of all, it's delicious that Japan's doing it. And second of all, I guess I can see it for like a niche market. I imagine the difference between 4K and 8K is going to be niche
It would
for a long
it would
time.
have to be. I mean, the fact that again,
It's just too many
4K.
pixels for a home.
It is. It really is. It's like I'm sorry. I need a 500-foot HD
Yeah.
8K screen in my home.
Until
I
we're
don't
buying,
need that.
Until we're buying 16-inch TVs in a box in the corner of the store and unrolling them like wrapping paper. Until that day, we're not going to be impressed with 8K.
No, we're not.
Right.
And
Those
to
are
be-
going to be 4K HD rolling paper TVs.
And when
The
I
best.
shoot on a professional production,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, there's a lot of times where I just use the Sony a7S II and I shoot in 1080
Yeah.
and it's enough. There are professional movie filmmakers that shoot on the Sony a7S II at like maybe 2.7K at the most.
That A7
maybe
series was like
maybe
the
4.
line. I
it's
feel
the
like
line.
yeah.
It's like and
Like,
so that's
now,
the proof.
Now it's like that's like your baseline. Yeah.
I mean, if you're shooting, in order to actually fulfill an 8K television,
Yeah.
you would have to shoot.
16 4K.
You would you would have to shoot in 8K.
Yeah,
Do you know how
nothing
much
shoots in-
data, how big of an SD card you would have to have a terabyte jammed in your camera just for it to store it? You're probably shooting at 3 to 4 gigs
Yeah.
a second.
But the
Damn.
other
Do you
scary
know how
part-
much that is? That's a
gnarly.
lot.
Yeah.
What's
4
scary about
terabytes
it-
is like maybe 10 minutes.
That's nutty.
Yeah.
What's scary about it is not the quantity total, but the quantity per second is the speed. Because one of the biggest bottlenecks with 4K is not that. Excuse me. It's not that that bag flavors. So one of the biggest bottlenecks with 4K is not that you have 4 times the file size total, but it's that you have to put 4 times the data over time onto the card. So the media has to be able to receive that fatter stream. So then to jump from 4K to 8K is not just 4 times. 4K is just 4 1080p pictures. To get to 8K, it's 16 of them.
I think they're just jealous
So much
that
more.
I think they're just jealous that we hit the moon first.
Yeah.
And
Japan's got to be the
they-
first
yeah.
to 8K.
they just want to say that, hey, we did it.
It's a flag.
Here's
Yeah.
It really
here's-
is.
It's a flag planted on the top of the island.
Here's
for
what
sure.
caught my eye about the story, because I was like, 8K, it doesn't matter. Like,
I
no one
loved
can tell the
what you
difference.
liked about it.
Yeah, it's that they're launching the channel with 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That wasn't even shot in 8K.
No. But it was shot in
Film.
But it was shot in big film, wasn't it? 64 millimeter instead
Yeah,
of
it was
32
64
millimeter.
mil.
Yeah, they shot it in
So they're
60.
trying. So
Oh.
what they're trying to do is prove the fact that you can see more of that film converted digitally when you use 8K television screen.
The idea
guess so,
is if you shot in 64 mil, you've got
So
your
much
resolution
compression,
is
right.
molecular.
Right.
So if you've
man.
got like the size of these molecules that changed color, if they're small enough for 8,000 of them to fit on there. Not 8,000. 8K. It just makes you think it's going to be that. It's really way the fuck more than 8,000 of them.
I feel like I'm going to see the grain of the celluloid.
You're going to see the grain so good, though. You're going to see all of the grain of the celluloid. Yeah.
Right.
You're going to walk up to that and like feel like you're walking up to the negative. You're going to see fingernails.
Yeah, you're going to see fingerprints.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're gonna
by the way, was there anyone that was doing anything illegal on this film who was cutting it? Because we can definitely see those
We can
Zodiac
see
killer.
the cocaine molecules.
the cocaine molecules on the celluloid.
You'll be able to DNA replicate like one of the people that
Like,
cut it.
oh yeah, those five frames that were there. You see those particles? That's when the guy sneezed in the processing room.
Oh my god.
There's going to be a log of that though. Watch,
Yeah.
give it 1 week, and there's going to be a log of all the fingerprints in 2001 on the AK feed.
All right, outside of the 8K, how do you guys feel about that movie?
Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
2001
Required-
Space Odyssey.
2000.
Narration. 2001 Space Odyssey.
What are you doing, Dave?
If you had a buddy that read the book next to you, it's a good movie. Otherwise, it's a great movie with bullshit in the beginning and the end. Which is great cinema if you know the fucking story, but the movie doesn't explain it. The book does. I had read the book and then rewatched the movie, and that's the only way it worked.
It's almost like Lord of the Rings. They left out so many different scenes from the book that left everybody who didn't read the book
Having to talk to their buddy.
and then because I remember my brother, he was like, he read all the books, start to finish,
Yeah.
both like all the different versions of it, and he's a D&D master kind of deal, you know what I mean? So he kind of has to. And so the fact that he said that the worst thing he had ever experienced as being my brother was sitting next to me during the Lord of the Rings trilogy in the movie theater. Because when Frodo walked into, when Frodo was like, he wakes up and Gandalf sees him in the final scene as he's waking up, and they're all happy and joyful. I looked over at my brother Drew, and I was like, they're all high. And it was like the one moment he actually really wanted to see in the whole movie after reading all these books.
Yeah.
And
That spoiled it for him?
it spoiled it for him. And so
Dude.
and then so we
He
kind
wasn't
of
high enough as for the movie.
yeah, and then so then we reconnected over it, and he told me, he was like, "No, you don't understand. There's so many things that happened in the book that weren't in the movie." So
Yeah.
And you say, no, you don't understand. I'm in video production. You can only have so many sentences per minute. And
The thing about the book, like I watched the movie. The first one, I was like, yeah, it's cool. And I tried to read the book, and then I got to the part with. Have you guys ever tried to read the book?
no, I haven't even thought about it.
Yo,
I haven't even
I picked
thought
it
that
up.
That was something I could handle.
I picked it up when I was in school because they were like encouraging kids to read.
Yeah.
And then I did it for candy, and it was a really fucked up thing what they did. There was a bunch of soccer moms that were against it, like my kid's diabetic, and and not only that, but it was Twizzler Day. And that was the day I realized I was allergic to Twizzlers, so I never read a book after that.
Oh, damn.
Oh man, just ruined reading
I
forever.
totally read books that still.
I was gonna say, did you get a
Yeah.
Kindle?
Yo, but Lord of the Rings, it gets to this point where there's this dude Tom Bombadil, and it's like 20 pages of rhyming, and this like weird sing-song like storytelling, and I'm like, what the fuck is
This
this?
kind
I
of
can't-
breaks
I
up
just-
the whole consistency.
Yeah, I'm like,
of it.
I'm done. I don't care about this dude.
Would Eminem appreciate it or?
Probably not. Maybe.
Okay.
It
I'd
wasn't
have to
even
ask him.
like Trump spontaneous flow.
No, it was better than
With
that.
an oddly multi-camera, like thorough production on a soundstage for him being like, "Oh, it's just me busting a freestyle on Trump," and then when Eminem, I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm just gonna hop in the middle of a rant.
Yeah,
But
no,
then
I
when
got
he's
you.
like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I released a special album. I didn't mean to alienate Trump supporters and my fans. It's not about that. I don't want to say that."
But it was.
Yeah, it totally was.
Like the whole, I remember that bit, like the whole thing was
How
just a diss.
freestyle was that?
Yeah.
There's no way he didn't rewrite or like
Yeah,
write
yeah.
at least 50-60% of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He might have freestyled like a
Yeah.
couple. He might have like put it in a freestyle order, freestyle arrangement of rhymes I know he had already.
I like how he's specifically going after what they call nowadays mumble rappers.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
get what I'm saying.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what? If your beat's thick, if you got that bass, you can mumble all day. I don't give a fuck.
Right. If you're good
It's
at
about good beats and
Right.
some person being an entity on it.
Yeah, if someone, it's only for those people that soup up their Hondas with subwoofers that really like to low frequency
Yeah.
and blare out their eardrums so that when they pick up their date, they can't hear them at all.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what's
the best
great.
thing.
Okay, defending this because I've got my bass phases. Low frequencies,
Bass is the shit.
it's really difficult to get pain
Just
from
do that.
them. You can get really high decibels of low frequencies without physical damage to your body. So you can really like boundary push.
Which is why people like to experiment during hard style dubstep back in the day. I remember those underground like dubstep music scenes where it was actually hard style. You had to like call a phone number, and that phone number, the pickup line actually turned off after a certain time, and so that the cops didn't pick up on it.
Oh yeah, to like
And-
get to the
Whoa.
show. Yeah,
Yeah, to get to the show, old school. And then it was like, so you called, and there was a message that told you a location and a place and a time, and then it hung up, and then you had to actually go there, and then that place you'd actually meet up with someone that said, hey, it's here.
Yeah, and then you have to go here. Yeah, yeah.
And then you got to go there. And,
What?
yeah, and that way
There was that many layers.
it was
I
that
didn't
many
know.
layers, and it was
That's
so funny
magical.
because the place that I actually went to was called Dragon's Lair, and there were so many times where these police officers would be getting involved, and it's like when they finally get there, they're like, oh, it's a bunch of kids throbbing their heads against some huge frequency music. Like,
Yeah,
You know,
right.
most of them aren't even on drugs.
I'm not going to
Most.
say that
I
most.
mean,
most.
No, that fact startled me. It's probably
But that's the reason why the cops are probably on it.
It's probably just people not admitting it. But
Yeah, yeah.
supposedly throughout the rave scene, the majority of people were not on drugs.
Yeah, there's a large
Right.
portion that didn't do drugs.
But I
Just
mean,
like
I
there
feel
for
like the
music,
whole
for sure.
experience is a drug.
Right.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and to me, my experience with that was the fact that you said you can experience low frequency sound waves without it actually giving you physical damage to your body.
Yeah,
It
because
was,
bass
um,
takes more power to have the same effect.
Right. And there's a sub frequency that does affect the molecular level of water. And some transcendent hippies are all about it, you know what I mean? They're all like, oh yeah, I feel like a completely different molecule.
Have you ever heard of
walking out
decaf
it.
music?
Decaf music?
Yeah.
Is it like really soft elevator music?
No,
No,
not
dog.
at all. No, it is low key,
Super low key? Is it like
but
jazz?
it is hot. No, not at all. Okay, so it's pretty contradictory, but I think it'll make sense in a hurry. Decaf music, it's usually a cover of a hip hop song, but with the bass redone on top of it, with
Ooh.
emphasis of certain key, really low frequencies, like
This is the kind of music theory that I needed to hear today
30 something hertz,
to keep my sanity.
100 something
Yeah.
hertz. I forget
Decaf music
that
is dope.
there's certain popular frequencies that just happen to be in key with these songs, or they'll
Yeah.
pitch change them so that those frequencies are in, and they'll just like drive those frequencies home really hard with really resonant analog bass frequencies were just like this raw sine wave at these low frequencies.
man,
So
you're-
the equivalent is like you just get these bass floors, but
Right.
the rhythm matches the song. It's instrument, like this person wrote a bass line that's just really aggressively solid. And they also try to go for standing waves where you have one frequency and another frequency that's a harmonic of it, and the two frequencies cause or even in a certain normal size room, one frequency will cause the wave to just kind of sit there, like where the air will shake without moving through the room, and you get these standing waves. And man,
So it's all isolated, and you feel suspended when it comes to noise cancellation with a room almost.
Yeah,
And
it tries to get heady and fancy like that, but at face value, there's just a shit ton of bass on
At
various
face-
hip hop
face-
covers.
face value.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's like hip hop remixes with insane bass to where like the bass is at least double the volume of the whole rest of the track.
Right,
too.
that's what, and I feel like because of my
But it's good, I like it,
hardstyle
Decaf. Look up some
hardstyle
Decaf.
background. Yeah, decaf sounds like the opposite. It sounds like, to me, decaf sounds like really weak brown water.
It's a misleading title.
That makes your stomach feel weird after drinking it. But
But I think that's part of the rationale in the songs that are chosen, because they're never aggro hip hop songs. They're always laid back. Sometimes it's R&B
right,
ones.
it's decaf.
Yeah.
So that's
it's always laid back, kind of Drakey tracks.
ooh, okay.
It's always those.
MF Doom kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Dude.
Something in the MF Doom pocket for sure.
MF Doom is like one of my favorite
Yeah.
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 tunes to listen to.
I was just-
We're MF Doom fans on
You
the
know.
podcast. Greasy.
I was
Greasy's
just rocking that like Danger Doom track or Danger Doom album.
I like
other
his art is the people that make the art for him are totally understandable.
Relatable, right?
Relatable.
It feels like your buddy.
Yeah, his lyricism is dope too. It's an interesting dude.
Yeah,
MF
media
Doom.
recommendation, you guys. That's a
MF
thing.
Doom, all of them.
Media recommendation.
Yeah.
Media.
Media.
That's another thing. You
We
can
all
whisper
consume
thing
it.
over stingers.
Yeah,
Welcome to
yeah.
that.
All right.
Now we have a new news.
I had a
thing to be
segue
doing.
for this like 20 minutes ago, and
Hey,
it's been that long.
segue revisit.
The rants. Oh yeah, hacking. We were talking about that earlier, right?
Let's do it.
Sure.
So anyway, so Rudy Giuliani, who used to be the mayor,
one of those.
of New York, governor, mayor,
He used to be governor.
mayor,
Governor.
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 Yeah,
Governor.
special. But
Caviar.
now he's actually President Trump's lawyer in this whole debacle.
And what a lawyer he is.
Oh yeah, totally. But
That
must be-
valve
he must
is
be-
no joke. You push that button, that flies out of there.
Dude, this
it's not like the knob on the
it's-
Frenzia. It's like a go button.
This is like the like
It's
the
a tack
big
button.
the big red button.
Yeah.
In like MIB or like in NORAD.
yeah, don't push that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't push that button, dude.
Sorry to derail
Cabin in the Woods.
where you were going with
No, totally. It's all good. So, all right, real quick, Rudy Giuliani. So he's like sent out this tweet that was like trying to say, I'm trying to find the exact tweet, but whatever it was trying to say doesn't matter because
Chris, you were comparing it to something, right?
he put a typo in there where it actually one of the words made a URL, and
What?
someone noticed that because he like didn't put a space in there and there was a period, so it was like something
Broken
dot.
link.
Yeah, it was like a broken link, and
Yeah.
someone noticed that.
Yeah.
And then they developed they made a web page real quick and redirected that link. They purchased the URL, and then it had to redirect to a page that just said like Donald Trump is a traitor to the United States.
Oh my God.
So
Right.
it looked like his thing linked to that.
Yeah, and then but
That
and,
is so delicious.
and keep in mind like Rudy
It's
Giuliani,
greasy.
That's super greasy.
like
Sorry,
Rudy
I'm
Giuliani
not
is like the cybersecurity dude for Trump, cybersecurity advisor.
How can
How
Rudy
old is
Gio-
this person?
How
Yo,
is he
Rudy
cyber-
Giuliani is like,
God damn it.
yo,
He's up there.
He's mental.
He's
The fact that he could be a cybersecurity advisor makes me so
and he doesn't,
frustrated.
and he didn't understand what happened, and like so he said this: Twitter allowed someone to invade my text with a disgusting anti-president message.
Invaded his stupid typo text.
The same thing.
it was the Russians.
period, no space occurred later, and it didn't happen. Don't tell me they are not committed card-carrying anti-Trumpers. Speaking of Twitter, Time Magazine also may fit the description. Fairness, please. So because he made a typo, it's
He's
like a
gonna
fucking
blame
massive
Twitter and
conspiracy.
Time Magazine.
Yeah. Like, the
Of
whole-
course, Time Magazine, the most unscrupulous,
Right.
untrusted, bound like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry because you made a typo in a link allowed other
Yeah.
people to expedite your idiocracy towards
Yeah.
making the post in general.
That fly-by-night rag, Time Magazine.
right? Like, it just, I mean, this is just more and more evidence.
Fly
And
by
this is
night, time by day. Parade by night.
Dude, you have a Meow Wolf shirt?
So
I
I've
tried
got
to go the line.
Oh,
Dude, the line
Dude,
to
I wanna
Meow
go
Wolf
there.
dude.
all right. Let me show the camera really quick.
Don't buy tickets and expect to just get there whenever you want, because if
So-
it's popular at all, the line is ridiculous.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I actually met who is the guy that funded Lord of the Rings. He lives in Santa Fe.
Oh,
What's
No
his
idea.
name?
New Zealand dude.
New Zealand guy.
Peter
Peter Jackson?
Yeah.
Jackie Pete.
Yeah,
old Jackie Pete.
That was him. Yeah. Peter Jackson was there at Meow Wolf in Santa Fe. And guess what he was doing? He was not accepting autographs. He was helping the crew get people registered
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
because he
Okay.
actually funded a lot of money to get it started.
I see. This frustrates me
didn't know
that good people like
Yeah.
him are throwing money at Meow Wolf, and Meow Wolf is being managed by people that aren't taking a little bit of consideration to limit the ticket sales and do a little bit of scheduling so that people don't wait in massive lines after purchasing tickets.
It literally is because it's that popular.
There's no amount of popularity that you can't
Handle,
with
right,
a little
that's
bit of
under
limitation. It's
risk
just
management,
it
right.
feels greedy to just say, hey, just everybody pile in and wait in line, and not say, yo, look, honestly, in fairness to you, we don't expect you to waste half your day to then be rushed through a cool experience that you should take your time on a better day. Even Disneyland does that with the season passes that are the lower tier that have the blackout days.
Right.
That's like a favor to you as a patron.
So basically, what we were doing was the reason why I have this Meow Wolf shirt is this is a limited edition, I guess, Meow Wolf shirt. You only wear this Meow Wolf shirt if you work there.
Dun, dun.
And basically, I did. I
At the Santa Fe one?
yeah, the one in Santa Fe.
Awesome.
I contributed, and I got some celebrities to show up. We brought more and more to the list, and because of that, they said, "Hey, because you did this, you have kind of a free reign." And they gave us blessings. I got to meet the major artists that helped contribute and build the Meow Wolf that was in Santa Fe. And just to let everyone know that, to everyone that's listening, they're bringing Meow Wolf to Las Vegas.
Nice.
It's coming here.
They gotta expand
And it's
soon
gonna
if they're
be-
not gonna change their booking principles.
Yeah.
Too. But I mean,
Well,
that's only so much.
right.
That's a
And
temporary
every-
solution to just expanding.
Right. And every Meow Wolf is a submersive art installation for people who don't know. And it is an interactive art installation for people of all ages. And I got to tell you, the one that I went to in Santa Fe, I dove into the dryer. There is a dryer. There's like a dryer machine that is a slide.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
And you drop in to like someone's house, and then inside that house you walk into this girl's closet, and it's like this nuclear underground facility.
What the fuck?
And then
There's
you
whole like
walk into-
storyline and stuff.
and then
right?
yeah, it is Meow Wolf's
I read a bunch about it. My mom got tickets. My mom, Ange, and I went to Santa Fe, but it was
Have you
around
been?
Thanksgiving, and the line was too crazy and too cold.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
that
That
So,
sucks.
so my mom's taking someone else when it's less crazy, and we have to get
womp
tickets
womp.
another time.
Nice. Well,
But hey, if they come to Vegas in time,
yeah, they're gonna come to Vegas. I'm actually in cooperations with the people that are
Do
gonna
they
bring
need-
it to Vegas.
let them know. A low voltage microcontroller programming. I know some Arduinos end up in some stuff like that, automating stuff.
Ooh, because
That's-
they're gonna need that because
I'm on the prowl on.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, this counts as a sponsor spot. I'm on the prowl with that microcontroller tip. If it's an Arduino, Raspberry Pi,
Dude,
any
you're
kind of
talking my
motor
language.
control and sensor reception, I've been experimenting with noise reduction in the code. For example, okay, this is like an Arduino MIDI controller, and there's distance sensors, and the distance sensor reading is actually really noisy. So I had to code noise rejection and like limit detection and stuff into the sensor so that just acts all cool when it's not sensing anything and then gives a good
And
distance reading.
those raspberries are very cheap.
Yeah, this one's
super
Arduino,
cheap.
so it doesn't have to boot an OS.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all cheap hardware. So I've been hitting it really hard with my old electronics knowledge I grew up with. Now I'm in that microcontroller tip hard. But I mean, it honestly started with a shout out to Illuminated Couture, which you can find as Go Glow. Illuminated Couture, Google's fine still too. Good to Glow, sorry. Good to Glow was their motto, and that's like the operating name now, I think. Anyway, the animated products, I did the programming with all that and Arduino and like an early generation of like Bluetooth control and stuff.
Nice.
Years ago. So since that, I picked that back up, and there's like a magician I'm doing a remote pocket square for. Or no, I'm sorry, this is a magician for that was another thing. There's a woman's costume. There's a remote control element. So there's like I'm like blossoming in that category right now.
Right.
Shout out. Microcontroller. Plus the term microcontroller just sounds prestigious to say for that category of doodles. And OLED displays. This is not relevant, but man, these little OLED displays.
No,
those
these
are like
LEDs
$2 on eBay.
They're sick.
And
I love these.
just being able to make it do whatever I want on it.
And it looks retro. You made your own box out of it.
This has
That's
a Pong
tight.
game on it.
Nice.
The people have seen me post on this already, but I don't think you've seen it. There's a version of Pong that I coded into it that you play by moving the paddles by waving your actual hands.
Oh, that's
But then it's
cool.
on this tiny little screen. This little screen is similar to the ones used in the Korg K-Oscillator.
Oh
And
my God! Did you just say Korg Chaos?
The Korg K-Oscillator uses practically the same OLED display.
Nice.
Also, the Korg, there's the one that's twice the height on the Korg analog synth, the small one. I can't remember what it's called, but Korg's analog synths use these OLED displays religiously now.
Right. I actually had a Korg ESX1 synthesizer back in the day,
Oh, dude!
and I should not have sold it. Unfortunately,
But
the
that
reason
shit emulates really good now,
it
though.
emulates really good. The reason why that I sold it was because unfortunately the card technology that they partnered with, which was Smart Card.
I was gonna say it's a smart media era.
It's a
one.
smart media era.
Yeah, it was like
They
$150
went-
cards now.
Yeah, dude, they had this on eBay for like $56. You could get one that was modified to be 128 megabyte.
Yeah, it's like as big
And
as
I
the
was
guy.
like, dude,
That's almost that's more than a tenth of a gigabyte.
that's
right?
like, oh my God, it's a tenth of a megabit fucking gig. So so to me, in my mind, I was like, damn, why did I buy this? This thing is already obsolete because the company that they partnered with went down.
But that was digitally controlled analog, right?
That was
So you
digitally.
get, like,
they had
full-
the valve tubes in there. They had the valve tubes. I shouldn't have gotten rid of it. I should have just held on to it because they
That's
probably
smart
made
media era
converter-
stuff, though.
It is smart
It's like
media era.
A couple years later, and it's all SD cards. It's like so much
Right.
easier.
And so I decided, I was like, why did I buy this? Maybe I should make something that's like smart media SD convertible, but it's not going to happen.
I recently traded someone. This is recently, like I think this is almost a year ago. But shout out to John K, Def over at Naked City recording studio, Action Records. Anyway, he traded me. I picked up Voss's 202, the DR 202.
Water Voss?
No. This is old. This is from 1998. There's a drum machine that Roland made under the Boss brand, because Roland owns Boss, and they
Boss,
targeted
okay.
it to guitarists. But it's a Roland drum machine, and it has all the Roland from the horse's mouth 808, 909 sounds in it, but like a Rompler. So it's this big old fella, the 202. The DR 202 was the first Dr. Rhythm.
Ooh.
So its companion, the I think it's SP202, is the sampler that would go next to it. They'd set them next to each other. Later on, this stuff's like, this predates the good old Korg Electribe series. It's like the two halves of an Electribe as two separate units. But like Roland's like, we're doing this first, way bigger and clunkier with the smart media card. But I mean, like,
Obviously, their
it set the
downfall.
stage for what Korg later did, and I wouldn't call it a downfall, given that like they still have the legacy of the 909, 808 series, 707. Now they're just like reissuing mini versions of those.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
303s, dog.
It was one step along coasting those. but-
303 was actually actually a phone area code for Denver specifically.
Oh yeah. No
if
shit.
anyone didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
we've
Hell
got
yeah.
all the obscure associations for you guys today. Wait a minute. No, I didn't get my stinger with that.
No.
Oh, welcome back.
All right, back to news time.
Yeah. All right. So I'm always down on robots because I actually just want to predict the robot apocalypse and be like the only prophet that was right in history.
I want to have iRobot sequence happen in my life.
Yeah.
Just so that I can shoot some robots with my Mosin Mergant.
I
This
got to
guy-
get rid of some of the wine for like
This
the first
guy
time.
knows
ever.
what I'm saying. All right. Oh, Waz got it. Anyway.
Go get it, Rod. Go get it, Waz. Go
Right.
get it.
This dude. So I'm always about the robot apocalypse, but this automated robot in an Amazon warehouse inadvertently, maybe, caused 24 workers to go to the hospital because it punctured a can of bear repellent
Oh my God.
in a very small
Not
closed
just
area.
Not just your average repellent on the street,
Right.
but bear repellent.
Yeah, not like pepper spray.
This
just like,
this not your average pepper spray. This is
Right?
not what the cops use. This is
Yeah, I
like
know.
this is like
bears.
Bears.
Yo.
Yeah,
That shit will,
that's
that shit could like permanently damage you, man.
Yeah.
Right? Just gnarly. That it seems that everyone's okay, but just the idea of like some robot quote unquote accidentally puncturing a can. I mean, I don't know if it was an accident, man.
I mean, maybe. Well, if you think about it, that robot doesn't care about puncturing that can
Right?
because
Doesn't care about people either.
It doesn't. It's not going to care because it's not going to be affected by this spray.
That's what I'm saying.
And the only way for it to ever learn is if it did affect it. So, and that's where AI is at. But also at the same time, speaking of pepper spray, I went down to Wing Kings, and I was shooting for a TV show. I actually was, a little bit of my background on the production. I was shooting Food Network at Wing Kings, and Wing Kings has the hottest wings on the west side of the United States. They have a wing that's called the Hell Wing Challenge, and if you can eat 12 of these, there's like some grand prize. Forgot what it was. I think they dropped the prize now.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No,
but if you
no
eat
one's gonna
12
eat 'em.
if you eat 12 of these, then I mean you're a monster, and you probably
Yeah.
you are
The wings of hell.
the wings of hell. You are God's recognitions that you should not be on this planet and that He hates the rest of us.
Right.
So these wings, just one wing, the sauce that's made from is 2.1 million Scoville units.
yeah. Shit's spicy.
2.1 Scoville units. So it's like, I mean, you got the habanero.
It's like up there with
You got the
battery
ghost.
acid.
Yeah, it's like straight up battery acid. So I found out the Scoville unit for the standard police officer's pepper spray, which is about 1.5. So
Million?
what I ate,
It was pepper spray
was-
level.
it was like I had not only pepper spray level wings, but I had pepper spray. I had bear mace pepper spray level wings
man.
that had flavor to it.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
kudos to you if you're looking to build up an immunity, so you can just get hella pepper sprayed. With
He actually was advised by his attorney that he could not sell his sauce by the bottle because
Damn.
it was
because kids
so
will die.
strong.
Kids will die.
Kids will die. And so I brought my friend who was his name's Garrett Connor. Hashtag
Shout out Gary Connor.
shout out Garrett Connor, who's an Adreno fan too as well, and I want to bring him in here.
Arduino. He's up in that
He's
Italy
up in that. Yeah,
microcontroller tip.
oh yeah, he's all about it.
C plus.
C plus, and so
C plus
I-
plus.
So I plus
Plus.
you know
plus.
I brought him 2 Wing Kings, and I actually met up with the owner, and he told me, he was like, hey, you know what? Because you were here shooting with Food Channel, I'm going to hook it up. I was like, cool, man, thank you. And at the end of our meal, it was great. I told him, I was like, hey, what about that hell wing sauce? Can you give us some of that? We'll pay you money. And he was like, actually, my attorney advised me not to because I don't want to get sued. However, I know you're cool. And because
it's like the drug deal sauce.
it is. And so we paid 0 money for it. And so that he can't technically say that he sold it to us.
And you get some of these sauce
That's
gigs
a
with
deal.
you.
And he wrote on it suicide. don't drink this.
Yeah.
And so
man.
so
Do you just enjoy this with breakfast now?
so now I take a toothpick and I drop it in there and I rub it on my toast and I cry.
Oh man, I love that the toothpick is involved. That's such a method.
I know.
And
I love that detail.
so it's like, and I just want to tell you
That's gotta be in a movie. It's just
gotta
someone
be in a movie.
toothpicking it.
Yeah, this is a movie, and then it's like these SCOBA units. It's like I'm like, dude, it's like I feel like after eating this sauce, if some police officer were to mace me, I'd be like, well, this is just annoying. Can I please get my citation, please?
Right.
So,
Oh man, I know I've done like a similar hot wing challenge. Probably not that hot, and it was still painful. Like I remember the next day, my stomach was just fucked up.
dude, there was this old guy that was at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So basically, what I was doing was I was like, my field producer came up to me and he said, hey, are you done with your beauty shots and your assignments for today? I was like, yes, I got everything done. And he was like, okay, so nobody wants to eat these hell wings,
Of course they don't.
and
Yeah.
we need someone.
Oh, man.
Can you do this for us? Can you take one for the team? And I was like, no, I'm not a spice guy. I hate spice. I absolutely hate it. And
Did this change
I
you?
can't,
This
I can't even.
experience?
Oh yeah, dude. And basically he was like, okay, I tell you what, $20 a wing. And I was like, hell no. $50 a wing. I was like, dude, there's no way. And he was like,
There's a way.
$100 a wing. And I was
The money.
like, you know what? Okay, I get where you're going.
This sounds like a supervillain origin story.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going. However,
like $100 for each radioactive spider that bites you.
yes, I only want to deal with one. You know what I mean?
That'll
And
do.
So, that'll do.
That's
So
all you need.
So I said, okay, tell you what, $100 a wing plus, you got to sign me up and register me with some SAG credit with the union as a professional stand-in for Food Network.
Oh, that's
Hell
so
yeah.
worth SAG credit.
That's worth it. Yeah.
And you got to pay me as a professional stand-in as well.
Funniest story of someone getting SAG credit I've heard yet.
So it was $100 per wing plus $250 as a professional stand-in.
Damn. Hell yeah.
So at
That's
the end,
juicy.
so at the end of the night, I would actually feel somewhat retributed for all this, or compensated at
While you're
least.
really
And so
paid.
and so basically, so while I'm sitting there, it was so weird because here I am behind the camera shooting professionally. Now I'm in the front of the camera. I'm not used to this, and so I'm like calming myself down. And my makeup artist assistant Taylor was like making sure I look pretty, yada yada yada. While she's doing this, there's this old man sitting next to me who's a regular, and he was like, hey man, he's got the biker jacket and all that, And he's like, hey man, try those wings, hey, try those wings. And I was like, yeah, I'm up next. And he was like, hey, who's that girl with the dance pants? And I was like, that's Taylor. She's my PA. Don't hit on her. I don't need you to do that. He's like, no. He's like, no. She got chapstick. And I was like, okay, do you need chapstick? What's going on? He's like, no. You need chapstick. You need chapstick. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, all over the lips, they say. All over the lips.
Brilliant.
And then all over your tongue. And I was like, bro, that's brilliant, dude. That is like the best thing I've ever heard. I thought you were getting creepy on me. And then he's like, yeah. And then rub it all over your butthole too. And I was like, bro, you're gross, dude.
She's not gonna let it go.
You're
to that
gross.
level.
It's not.
Hey,
I'm not gonna let her. I'm not gonna. I can't give it back to her. And he was like, I'm not gonna do that,
I
man.
never
You're
give
gross.
something to someone that's touched my butt.
Dude,
Never.
that's gross.
That's a rule.
It's rule, man.
Keep that in mind, you guys.
Yeah, and then I was like, dude, that's gross, dude. And he was like, oh no, it's you need to put that on your butthole. And I was like, dude, you're crazy, man.
You can get a layer on your finger and,
then
give a slather.
long story short, I should have put it on my butthole.
Yeah.
And so it was like, so here I am. I eat this wing, and I am feeling the fire. It was like my entire mouth went numb,
God.
and then my ears started to hurt first. My
Oh,
ears,
wow.
my ears,
Wow.
my ears
I
started to
haven't
hurt first,
experienced that, yeah.
and then everything else kicked in. And I gotta tell you, the next day I had to shoot at the Cosmopolitan, professionally in the kitchen.
Oh man.
And I told my field producer, like, it was like every 5 minutes,
Damn.
I had to go to the restroom and
Ugh.
scream.
Ugh.
And my girlfriend that night couldn't sleep because I was screaming
Yeah.
on the John. And
Shit,
so
yeah. Spicy, like
and
too
he
much
was,
spice.
and it was like, and I told my field producer, I was like, bro, dude, I'm about to take this extra money to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So, but anyways, so that's that about my story with the Travel Channel, Food Network, and hot spices.
too
Oh,
many, too many
man.
hot wings.
Too
Holy
many.
shit.
No, I only ate one.
Oh, one really hot wing.
Yeah,
Super
just
hot.
pepper,
Yeah.
just bear sprayed up.
2.1 million Scoville units, dude.
Okay,
Oh.
you guys,
Sounds gnarly.
we are at a specific time in the podcast when.
No, we're not.
Oh, snap.
Big news.
Hey, we've got to do news chug, but before that,
News
let me
chug
just holler.
with slap the bag.
I
Yeah,
gotta
soft
mention
bag.
Jesse Ray's barbecue. This has got me, all this talking for spice has got me hungry for some Jesse Ray's barbecue. If you want a pig some delicious ways, good way to eat a pig, Jesse Ray's barbecue. Look them up. They're a sponsor. We love them. Mention RadioVegas.rocks. Get yourself
Let
some
me, let me
cold
slap
cock
that
whiskey.
bag real quick, dog.
Slab some bag. Cold cock whiskey is like a hard alcohol that really doesn't heartburn me
Yes.
like the other ones do. It's nice and cozy.
Yeah.
So if you're getting that juice craving with us, hit up Cold Cock Whiskey. They're a sponsor. They're great. They've been with us for a minute. The next day, you want to get up in that Hangover Joe's. I fucking love Hangover Joe's. I like to drink their bottles of Hangover Joe's Action like 5 hour. It does like do a B vitamin thing like that.
Is it like really helpful?
It is full of all
Yeah,
kinds
dog.
of great
Yeah.
vitamins.
Really?
Honestly, like it makes me feel that like Latin kind of on fire. It activates my Puerto Rican side in that nasty way. I don't even want to talk to my friends about how 5 hour energy and also Hangover Joe's particularly makes me feel, but honestly, Hangover Joe's does it harder. Hangover Joe's, it just gives,
Legit.
I mean, it just activates my Latin dancing inside my body, you know what I'm saying?
It probably could help me out on the job, to be honest. I should have
Yeah,
done
yeah.
that, you know.
It definitely will.
Yeah.
It makes you want to make babies, you know what I'm saying?
And you don't have to
Alright.
like you don't have to like slam the whole thing. You just take like some nips, you know.
No,
You
nips
just
like
nip
a
it,
gentleman.
Nip it through the day. Yeah. you
I'll
gotta do
drag
it.
a bottle over 2 days. I'm weird like
Yeah.
that.
Bro, as a part of the Northern European community, we call that taking bites
Bites
of a shot.
Alright.
Yeah,
I like
bites
it.
of a shot.
Have a bite, you guys.
dig
So
it. Yeah,
Hangover
take little
Joe's,
bites.
look them over, get a box. You won't regret it. It is yummy tasting. I like the flavor just as much as 5 hour. I'm sorry to compare it to 5 hour. I'm just a huge 5 hour fan. But 5 hours does nothing for hangovers compared to I mean, it does a little.
And
I'm
it
not
tastes
kidding.
like crap. It tastes like crap. to be
I
honest.
no, I love the taste of 5 hour.
I don't. Sorry.
But you probably would like the taste of Hangover Joe's more because
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me it seems
do
a
they
little
sell
milder.
it? Do they sell at Trader Joe's?
I don't know.
I don't
That'd be
think so.
nice,
They
right?
they should.
But it's not as aggressive as the 5 hour flavor. It's more normal of a flavor, and it's really good for hangovers, just straight up. So that's one. But before you get to that hangover night, maybe you're gonna want some Spunk Lube, which is a lubricant for sex that resembles semen. It's a real product, Spunk Lube. If you've got one of those dragon dildos, looks like a piece of a dragon or whatever, it's the perfect stuff to put in
Piece
that.
of a dragon.
Real talk, hey, it's a thing. So also, dude wipes you can use after that, and then
Dude wipes have saved my ass.
right,
I'm serious.
literally
They really have.
killer
Yeah.
product. I used it
And
to
a pinch
wipe.
man.
And it's not for your butt. It's like for the front.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for
but
the
you,
dude.
I'll
Keep it
finish off
fresh.
with the back too. I like to get the whole
Yeah.
yard. So that lens, no, but that lens I cleaned with a dude wipe today. So
And
if
it
you want to
works.
compare
Wow.
that lens to that lens, that one's the Dude Wipe one.
And the dude wipes, I realize that they don't burn like other wipes.
It's really difficult to set them
Yeah.
on fire. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite things about them. I really need a wipe that's not gonna
that gets the job done
this
and
guy.
doesn't
doesn't put me at risk of another thing catching on fire
Oh
in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Speaking of microcontroller electronics, so another energy solution that's even more classic sponsor. I'm gesturing over here because I usually have a cup of them here, but right now I don't. But if you look in past episodes, there's a cup here. It's green. It's this cup, but there's none in it right now. Anyway, the thing with the powder, the other energy, Zip
Zip
Fizz.
Fizz.
Zip Fizz,
Fizz your
the
zip.
healthy energy drink.
Yeah, and they come in the crazy cool looking vials,
Yeah,
don't they?
you get the right ratio in a cup of water. You take a couple sips first to give it some space, and that's a great way to zip yourself up. That's really not as edgy as a lot of other energy sources
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be. If you really want to stay natural and healthy, to get that edge on, Zip Fizz is a killer one. These are all off the dome, so apologies to any sponsors that I'm neglecting specifically. I love you all. Check back previous episodes
We'll
to
get
enjoy.
you next week, dog.
Yeah, I recommend going back to our previous episodes to hear all the sponsor spots. So yeah, I'll imagine you'll possibly do that. But real talk, there's a couple amazing Latin ones. We're on that Latin pep. When you're feeling Latin, not only is there Pinche's Tacos, which yes, I said a swear word, Pinche's Tacos, they're going to give you a free blood orange margarita if you buy.
no.
No, oh no!
Whoa.
Every time.
Every time.
This is like the running theme of the show. It's a free gringo taco when you purchase a blood orange margarita.
So get yourself
which you
a
were
gringo
gonna
taco.
buy anyway.
You sure were, because you've got 3 meats in that gringo taco. It's all the delicious coastal tacos that you would like that come in, that coastal kind of taco, the coastal Mexican, you know what I'm saying, from the coast. But like bigger.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's a good one, but there's also Juan's Flaming Fajita Cantina.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's never been a time when I brought them up when people haven't been like, oh. And the guy is nice too. Our sponsors are sweet people. The Strip and Dip Chicken people have brought us the Strip and Dip Chicken Time, where their delicious Strip and Dip chicken, such an amazing substrate for sauces. They've hooked up many a party in Radio Vegas town. So be sure, all these people mention Radio Vegas. We're actually scheming to do some kind of QR code thing so you can visit these sponsors and get points with them. But that's
Whoa, that's modern day technology.
Yeah.
for you right
Right.
there.
I'm not afraid to spoil that. It's something we're working on with the station. Get ready, but you can start frequenting them now. Maybe hit me up for some early adopter credit. You see me pushing buttons on the camera. Let's do these with the mouse today
that,
because
yeah.
the button time.
All right, so I got a question for you guys.
News chug, by the way.
Yeah, news
Now
chug
it's time for news chug.
Slap the bag, news
All right.
chug.
Slap the bag for news chug.
Yeah. Hey, you want it? I think you might need this for the news chug.
All right. We got to chug news.
Handing
chug
over the
wine.
bag.
I got to slap it. Yeah,
Just slap
a
it
couple
up.
times, yeah.
Here we go.
Slap. News slap, you guys. Slap that news.
All right. Do you guys think we're still conscious after we die for a short period of time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, possibly?
Yes.
That's what I used to think. Maybe
Yes.
a few minutes. Turns out it's a lot more, isn't it?
yeah.
I don't know.
So
Yeah.
I actually have a death experience when
Oh,
it
yeah?
came to
Where
no.
like you almost died,
no
or
when
like died for a while and came
I
back.
actually
Because that's the thing nowadays. People just like die and come back if it's quick enough.
so check this out. I was in a huge longboarding accident. I actually had my left side of my rib cage collapse into my right.
Damn.
My heart was pushed by 2.6 inches. My stomach was torqued. My heart stopped. I have half a foot right now, and I was flown to Cleveland Cleveland Clinic to be repaired, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember. It turns out no one called an ambulance because there are too many tourists taking pictures of my crash, but I never received any of them.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
And I wish to find one of these
Right.
someday. I don't know. I'm telling you. But I was going like 45 miles per hour on my longboard, and I crashed hardcore, slid against the like cliff wall, and I was considered, when they brought me to the hospital, I was considered dead for like 30 minutes.
Damn.
Until they actually took my chest and they spread it apart and they started my heart again.
Damn.
So during that time, what was really interesting was it was an experience that I experienced back in college. Or actually, sorry, not college. That happened afterwards. Earlier in my, how do you say, experimental years,
Yeah.
I hit DMT.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
And I
hit-
hate to rush you because we're close to the end of the episode.
Go ahead.
But this is a great story.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
was that what you were getting to? That's like
Yeah.
DMT time?
Yeah,
No, finish.
DMT
Damn.
time.
Finish.
No, it's okay.
But part of that was
for
like
it.
dramatic and you're near death, so I didn't mean to like cut it
No,
off.
no.
either.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're chugging news things. That was,
Oh, yeah.
Chugging
no.
news, slap the bag.
I'm super
chugging
glad
news,
you
slap
didn't
it back.
die. Okay,
Thanks, man.
the thing looking back is so supposedly from this article, where our brains can stay alive pondering our death for like 8 hours.
That's fucking crazy.
After.
Just
But-
sitting there, neurons firing.
To add a counterpoint to that, like back in the day, I used to be a pretty big junkie, and I OD'd once, and someone brought me back, and during that whole period, I don't remember shit.
Because
So
I believe the brain has a mechanism to cut you off from that,
that
too,
can
so you
also
don't
happen.
suffer.
So
Yeah.
you can also die and not be conscious.
Yeah, so
Just to
don't
let
be
everyone
thinking
know,
your
that's a
relatives have all
possibility.
had some dramatic situation that no one told you about. No, we promise you from experience that you can also totally die and sleep through it.
Yeah, and you won't know, and no one will know. Yeah.
Right, which is why morphine exists.
And
Exactly,
why
thank you.
adrenaline exists too.
Right.
Because you could be in an adrenaline state where you're very conscious of your death, but you're not feeling pain through it.
Right. And after my wreck, my friends brought me back from like this subconscious, unconscious state where I was conscious. But when they brought me back, that was when all the pain kicked in.
Oh yeah. So
And
you
then
like immediately went into like shock and
Yeah,
shit.
and then all of a sudden, and then what happened was, my brain was like, nope.
Taking off
Hey,
again.
I'm taking off.
checking
Yeah.
out.
Bye,
this
guys.
shit. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Good
Thank
boy.
God. Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
All right. I tagged this story because I knew it would be Waz would dig this, but New York City sets a $17 an hour minimum wage for Uber and Lyft drivers.
Yeah,
Dude.
you know I dig this because I have a serious qualm with my buddies at Postmates, DoorDash, and Uber Eats insisting that it's just a platform used by independent contractors, which I respect, and maybe that helped them grow their platforms. But at this point, when you're making your main business, the main thing that you do as a business is carried out by a certain person. That person has to be considered an employee. That's the law.
Yeah.
So an independent contractor is defined as someone who specializes in a task that's not what the business primarily does, that you bring in as a contractor to perform this business for you. But the loophole here is that this company isn't doing any business besides software. So the idea is that, say, TurboTax, when you purchase TurboTax and do your taxes with it, you don't become an employee of TurboTax.
Yeah.
You paid them for their platform. In this case, I'm giving them a percentage of the money I make with their platform to pay for them for running the platform.
And they're
The thing
expensive
is-
now. They're really expensive, actually, TurboTax.
Didn't realize that because my mom does my taxes. Hey, is that relatable or just shameful? Anyway,
That's
what
why.
happens.
That's why I just keep track of my taxes.
She's an
and,
accountant though,
you
so
know,
it's not
there you
just
go.
like a baby. This is my
hire
mom being an accountant.
local business. Do your taxes. Hire a local tax maker. Yeah.
Anyway, taxes aside. Hey, by the way, if you need help with your taxes, we've got a sponsor that can help you with that. Sorry, hold on.
800-917-8546.
Real tax
That's
number.
800-917-8546.
Mention RadioVegas.rocks. They'll genuinely help you with your taxes. That's a real thing. Okay, so
Sweet.
enough about that. More news. We've got like a few minutes. Some of these we're just going to post links to if you need more details, if you bring this up in the comments. But some stuff to look into.
Yeah.
Give
anyway.
me another one.
Got some news?
Oh no, you just ended it?
No,
You
I
just
shouldn't
ended it?
have. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, this dude. All right.
What
now
was-
I'm like stranded. I'm stranded out to sea, man.
I
Stranded
know.
out to sea.
I'm in like rush mode because of the last 6 minutes, but I didn't
right.
mean to end that one too
Let's end
prematurely.
on this note. This is a great note to end on.
No, we can't end yet. I'm trying to see if we can get like all of our news notes
all
in
of
the
the
last
news.
6 minutes.
Okay, well then
Okay.
let's dig this. All right,
5
so
minutes. Let's see if we can
do it.
touch on all of them.
15,000 scientists issue environmental warning to humanity. Global warming is going to kill fucking everyone, man.
15,000 scientists. Shout out to Aaron
Water war.
Kerfoot for this
All right,
news
water
note.
wars, man. It's
Not
a
For
real
the
even-
big think.
Not even nuclear war, but like, environmental.
Wars.
Yeah, we're just gonna
wars
break it up.
over water.
Oh.
We've
That
got
makes
to
sense. That's
become.
going to be a thing in the future. I really,
We've got to
I really
become a
believe that.
multi-planet species. It's our only hope. It's the only thing that's going to reduce our chances of inevitable.
But I think like Bill Nye said something very funny about this.
And Neil deGrasse, yeah.
But Bill Nye was like, "You guys can't even take care of the planet you're on. Is everyone fucking high? Like you're not going to terraform another planet?
well, we got to start
we're
now
not-
because it's going to take us a minute.
Yeah,
Bill,
no.
Bill, yeah, and
People
Bill,
said that about the Americas.
right, and Bill Nye. Well, the Americas was like, all this free space that was
Oh yeah,
plentiful.
that no one was living on.
That
There was just
no one-
nothing there.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna say it that way,
Yeah, I mean,
even
we'll
though there
just-
was.
No, there was no people living on the whole
No.
continent. It was just free for us to just pillage and kill all these animals that were shaped like people and just put them in reservations.
And that's the story of Thanksgiving.
And that's the story of Thanksgiving. And I feel like, well, at least if we do terraform another planet, there's not going to be like other indigenous
Right.
aliens
terraform
that
it
are
all.
going to mess us up. So
We should be floating in the clouds of Venus and not be so attached to a surface. Is what I'm saying. We're
I don't know.
surfacists.
I think it's entirely like an illusion that we could actually terraform a planet.
Really?
I
I
think
think
it's
it's just a
possible.
time thing. I think we
it's
could
possible.
inevitable.
The
If
thing
we could
is,
fuck
like,
up this planet so much over enough
if we
time.
can terraform a planet before like this planet becomes so
toxic.
toxic that we
Yeah.
I think
I don't
that
think that's a
the majority of people
really
are good.
skeptical.
If you look at Southern California and how difficult it was to even
Oh
go
yeah,
outside
that's
and
right,
breathe the air,
California. You're the example right now.
No. Okay, hear me out on this. Okay, as a child of the '80s, there was air advisories that were in the red almost every day in Southern California, and I was not supposed to go outside with my asthma that like most of my generation had in Southern California because of the air quality. And now it's night and day different. So if Southern California can, with all the bureaucracy and mayhem over there, can reform things enough to get their air clean like it is now, relatively sparkling compared to the 80s. Like you would see yellow going just a block. You couldn't see
Right.
further than a block without yellow.
So there
your way.
has been a lot of
Giant
transformation.
improvement. So if we can do that, we can get the Earth sparkly while we're also got a planet terraformed, and then we've got two bets.
They at least removed lead from gasoline, and
That
from
was a
paint.
nightmare
That was
politically to
huge-
do.
That was huge back.
There
in
was
the
so
day.
much big business in the way of getting lead out of gasoline that people
Right.
don't even
But
remember how difficult that
but
was.
now there's like an administration that is totally about deregulating and like doesn't care about any environmental shit.
There is,
so-
but this administration
Yeah,
is
this
a
whole
phase.
California fire is a very perfect example
Yeah.
of deregulation, to be honest.
And as we get better administrations, we're going to have worse ones too. It's like the flame out of old bad ideas.
yeah.
There's always this last hurrah that makes us think it's hopeless before the new standard comes in.
I mean, we
Right.
can hope. Yeah. Maybe.
Because
And then-
this administration is indicative of a pattern of similar administrations and ones that have come in like placatingly and temporary, good enough in between to
right.
balance things out ideally for a general
So,
increase in betterness.
last minute, I want everyone to check this out. PETA is suggesting we change the language on some certain like speciesist phrases that are offensive to animals, like "kill two birds with one stone." Right? Instead of saying "kill two birds with one stone," say "feed two birds with one scone."
I love it though.
Or instead of "grab a bull by the horns," grab a rose by the thorns. Why anyone would want to do that, I have no idea. But-
I've done it a couple
I
times.
hate the
on
premise,
accident.
but I love the result.
They say
I
that,
do, yeah.
They say that the reason why roses are red and they used to be white is because of the blood that has been spilled off of touching them.
Oh shit!
And like, what is PETA
Good
trying
job,
to hide?
Jesus.
That's what I want to know.
What
What
is
is PETA
PETA trying to hide
trying to
with this?
hide? That they like don't actually save a shit ton of animals like they say,
It's
and
big
are totally
Jesus.
like,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
they're
I
just-
know. They kill more
Yeah.
animals than a lot of other
Yeah, yeah,
organizations
yeah.
for sure.
But
Right.
let's not talk about it. Let's like
That's the
make it
thing,
all
though.
like,
You
cozy.
can Google the amount of animal deaths due to PETA is
Yeah,
insane.
It's ridiculous.
Hey, everybody! Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm thinking about. Wait, this
Take
will
care
make
of your
sense in a
animals.
second.
Come on. There you go.
Not everything has to be serious.
Bring it in.
Bring it in, everyone. Yeah. Bring it in.
So
Yeah.
this is goodbye to everybody
No, don't
on
do
the Radio Vegas.rock stream. Radio Vegas dot rocks. Go there, listen to those shows. Good time. Thank you for having us. Woo!
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. But secret pleasure, just really guilty pleasure for the video stream, real quick. I know you closed it, but were there any other news nuggets we wanted to tell people about real quick?
Oh God. I don't even remember.
We skimmed a few of them, huh?
There's a couple.
Yeah.
No,
There's-
pull the tablet up real quick. Let's take 5, and let's. Oh, you had them already ready on the other tablet?
Yeah.
Damn, that's double hosting. See,
Double
we got
host.
it looks like 2 hosts here, but really it's like 3 when you've got like double host over there.
We have the technology and the power, dude. We got it.
Maybe it's the wine talking, but I think that our exclusive video
too late.
feed viewers.
This is not wine. This is alcoholic plasma that is available to you when you slap it by the bag.
Slap it by the bag.
Hashtag what was it? Kangaroo, like ruiner
Wineroo.
passion. Wineroo. Hashtag Wineroo coming to your stores soon. Get it at REI. You know whenever you're an alcoholic and you want to hike. So-
You're just gonna open that one back up because the Windows update situation on the other
what-
one.
Yeah.
You guys,
Fucking
Windows
updates.
updates though.
Updates. Just.
Windows likes to. I like how Windows likes to update itself whenever it wants to, but Apple makes you sign into everything that you want to use.
Oh, that's funny because here I'm like on my high Apple horse about the updates,
Right.
but Apple is so obnoxious about the sign-ins, just signing in all the time.
So sign in. And I'm
But
like,
hey, but then you got that Touch ID. You got these Apple products. You just rub your finger on it.
What
though.
about the Benedict phone, man? It was like the government was all like, oh, a terrorist was using our Apple iPhone. We need to gain access to encrypt and hack into this phone without a password in order to gain more information about this terrorist activity. And they're all like, no, we're gonna sue you. We're gonna beat you to the end upon this lawsuit. And after they lost, the government was all like, too bad we already did that. Actually, sorry.
Thanks
it
for
was actually-
standing up for humanity's security needs
Yeah,
or whatever.
and it was actually McAfee, the guy that runs McAfee, that he did it, actually.
him or some of his lackeys.
No, him.
He.
Maybe some of his lackeys.
It had to be his lackeys
had
because
to
John
be.
McAfee. You know what he spends his time doing? He's in South America.
In Brazil,
sitting on a hammock.
sitting on a hammock,
Sitting under a hammock
on some girl's hammock.
with a hammock with a hole in it.
Yeah,
And
hammock with a hole in it.
He pays
yeah.
the island girls to poo in this hammock
Oh God.
on his face. That's what McAfee does.
Jesus.
I hate McAfee.
Hey,
I
Because
hate his
that's
whole
just what
company.
that's why-
His
that's
company
why-
is founded on shillery.
More
I
power
can't
to
believe
him.
whenever there's like a really important internet security thing that happened because of McAfee, it makes me so annoyed because that company, while they are a legit internet security company of sorts, and there's actual professionals working there, it's founded on bullshit, and I hate them. And they sell fucking spyware that your computer comes with. It's garbage bloatware that you have to
It's
uninstall.
like you
that
just
interrupts the built-in security that Windows puts on there. That's actually
You just
better.
said my most frustrating situation when it comes to buying a new phone: bloatware.
Yeah,
But sometimes that bloatware is very convenient.
just get an old used Apple phone.
But if you get an old used Apple phone,
You get old used
Mine's like
bloatware.
7 years old. It's
Get
so
old
good
used
still.
bloatware. There you go.
Pick a 7-year-old Android phone. And everyone would make fun of you. It'd be like a 7-year-old Apple
Actually, no,
phone.
it's
It's
really
like no big deal.
You know, I'll tell you this. I bought this new the Moto Z or whatever, the first one that came out, and the OtterBox that is actually based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. They cover everything except for the ginormous camera that is extruded out of the frickin' phone. And one time I was on production, I happened to drop it, and usually OtterBox will cover everything
Yeah,
except
OtterBox is a great company.
there happened to be a rock on the ground right where the
camera
freaking lens was.
That's shitty.
And so it's all good. But hashtag insurance for your phone, hashtag
Yeah, do it.
OtterBox for
Yeah.
Collins.
Insurance for everything.
I just
All right.
cover everything in protectors because I bought a used phone to begin with. Can't insure it.
That's actually very
I
I
economically
literally
friendly of
replaced
you.
the camera on that phone that the Facebook feed is watching us on.
Right.
The camera in it has been replaced. I took the whole phone apart and put a new camera in it because it has the mechanical stabilization where the camera actually physically moves in there.
Right.
And it would start twitching like an eye
Oh,
twitch.
shit. Because it's optical
It's
dang.
mechanical
instead of
object
digital.
in there.
Yeah.
With moving parts, this just
With
shows
moving
fuck
parts.
moving parts.
Yeah, I feel like that's why the reason why my phone can't focus right now, because ever since I broke the lens, you know, when I first bought it, I was like, I don't want that digital zoom. I want that
Mechanical zoom.
analog optical
I
zoom.
want a moving part to do
I
that.
want moving parts to do that.
All right.
God.
But we live in a day where 8K video TVs are a thing now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
fuck
in
that
Japan.
though.
Right.
Thanks. Thank you, Japan, but fuck that.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Japan, but we don't need you.
Hand me that bag. No,
I was gonna.
I didn't mean to
Oh,
interject
he doesn't want. Oh, radio host doesn't want to give a
Alright.
pound. How about
Oh,
pound? Pass
pound
the
of
bag.
You got
So,
a pound.
so
I
how do you
rejected a pound, you guys.
how do
I
you
was
guys
reaching for a bag and I was
how
a
do you
pound
guys rate
rejector.
yourselves on the introvert or extrovert spectrum?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
it's-
good question.
I've been diagnosed seriously by two like collegiate professionals, like professional in like actual counseling, that like I have an issue with a conflict between the two. Like
That's
I've
interesting.
taken tests where you put things on a wheel and you're like you're on this wheel, and I had these
Because
circles.
that's how things are when you're diagnosed. Just spin the wheel. See what you
Yeah.
got.
So I spun the wheel, and like, no, for reals, I was on two sides of this wheel really hard, like not
Right.
like somewhere in the middle aiming towards one. I
Right.
just had like aggressively on two edges. So that's been like a legit issue. That's like it's hard for me to find things I like in
You're
life.
an anomaly,
Because
to be honest.
I flip flop between wanting to be really introverted and really extra. I guess it's just manic depression. Basically, just describing
That
manic
sounds like-
depression.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like
hey, manic
that-
depression, you are the most creative person on the fucking planet, to be honest with
It
you.
helps.
It helps. And to be honest, anyone that's dealing with manic depression, it's like, God bless you, because you actually have this spurt of window where you are in such a low that your creativeness is such a high and don't care about it. And it's almost like a Robin Williams situation.
Well, you're definitely inclined to self-sabotage. You're like, one of me wants to
Well-
manically attack this pursuit while the other one wants to be depressed about it once it's complete.
Yeah.
Well, what's great about that is that there's this balance that's conflicting within
Yeah.
you that creates the conjuring of creativity.
It's basically it's the
Sometimes.
only solution.
That's
is
very
you,
true.
For some
you
people.
have
Some
to
people,
Yeah.
you have to let it flow a certain way.
at least the flavor I'm familiar with me and my cohorts is you have to pursue the creativity or you get mentally sick.
Yeah.
If you're not aggressively creative.
If
Well, like it seems that,
hashtag slap that bag and suck on that tit. Right.
well, it
Bounty.
seems that like Western culture is more biased toward extroverts.
For
So
sure.
people who have a more
We reward
introverted-
them tremendously, and
Yeah, yeah,
introverts
yeah.
are almost like shamed and untrusted.
So people who have an introverted personality are less likely to feel like they fit into
or feel valuable at all.
Right.
that culture.
They're more narcissistic prone.
They feel like they're forced into
Maybe,
an
I
internet
don't
culture
know.
that's all
Well,
about like okay, so we have this celebrity culture on the internet where Facebook, Instagram, it's all about self-celebrity and playing like a celebrity game. I know because I consciously embrace that as a sport and try to be not emotionally too affected by it because of that perception of it. But
Yeah.
that's really difficult for an introvert that feels like, okay, for me to be good at my like water heater company or whatever introverted pursuit I have that's valuable, like I'm an HVAC technician or something or I might be a beautiful painter. I might be someone that's like this amazing artistic person that happens to be an introvert. And I feel like I'm getting stepped all over by these painters that are like rock stars posting all this extroverted stuff all the time when I just want to focus on my
Yeah.
art and get trampled on.
Or because like I consider myself to be pretty introverted. Like I don't really think about, and it's hard to explain. I don't really like consider what my friends are up to. Like I could not talk to my friends for like 9 months, but I would still consider them my friends. But I don't know. It
Yeah.
feels weird.
Well, I think
though.
doing something like this that seems like an extrovert task, this talk show, would also attract someone that's just a creator that just wants to output new
Right.
creations that are just
You can be introvert and still be a creator.
because I would
Yeah,
consider
yeah,
you
you know
an
what I mean?
introvert
Yeah.
that's just forced to do extroverted things by certain creative tasks you want to do.
Exactly. Like if it
Yeah.
weren't for you, like I would not.
You
I
wouldn't
would
have a talk show.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Talk
like,
show.
oh, I want to do
But
this.
however, you're a very valuable voice
Yeah.
on this talk show.
Thanks, yeah.
You're great at it, and it was an
Right.
avenue that's an efficient way of creation.
Yeah.
So it's overall, here's what I've learned about introverts versus extroverts is that extrovert, they feel value in spending their energy on that. Introverts don't.
Or energy
Yeah,
with
yeah,
other
yeah.
people.
So exactly
Exchanging
so
energy with
it's like
others.
so when an introvert finds a medium to where they don't have to spend that kind of extra energy, such as a talk show.
It is efficient with
Where-
energy.
where-
But also,
yeah.
we can really call our own time on what energy we put into
Right.
it throughout the
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah,
We have
right.
like a living documents pretty much on our time that we add show notes throughout the week.
Right,
Yeah.
but introverts, what they like to do is, from what I've experienced, is they will find this solitude for a certain amount of time to save up their energy to be extroverted,
yeah,
and
yeah,
when-
that's
and-
a pretty good description.
and then when
Save
they
it so it counts.
and
Just
when they
throwing it around.
and then when they do have the energy to be to extrovert, they are the most intelligent person in the room. That's how I
That's an interesting
that's how
point.
I see it.
yeah.
I know I
don't-
definitely have to save up that energy. 'cause
Yeah. And
I
that's
have
like-
an extrovert streak, but man, I can't keep doing it.
Well,
Right.
yeah, and this article really like points it out that there's like a really societal bias towards like extroversion.
Yeah.
Like extroverts really have an easier time in society generally.
They're just sporadic across the board.
Well,
yeah,
those
right.
social
And-
skills
But
are
that-
dramatically
right.
rewarded in Western
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it is dramatically rewarded, but also it can direct you wrongly.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's
true.
the conservative part about it is that if you are an extrovert, you have to make sure that you're conservative about where you export your energy to.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
that's a
would
good
offer
point,
a
too.
ray of
So-
hope in this, though, too. Culturally, I've noticed for sure for our generation, especially, there's this rubber band snapback of celebrating nerds. Have you noticed that nerddom and geekdom, even if it's about pop culture and nothing scientific or even valuable to humanity in an obvious way, even if it's the most worthless types of nerd culture are hella celebrated now, even if it's by those own communities. And then people that are otherwise neutral on this see, hey, there's this community of nerds celebrating each other.
Right.
That's neat. That's good for them. Since
Totally.
there's a group of them, I respect it.
Which also points out that like maybe society isn't really extrovert. Like there's not like a bias toward extroverts. They're just like the loudest people in the room, and then they get the most attention.
Yeah.
And then now there's
just
like,
squeaky wheel.
And now there's a medium where like anyone can say anything, and like introverts are all like, hey, all this stuff we'd like to do, but we'd like to do specific things that we really enjoy. We can all like just focus on that.
It democratizes like
Right.
media and communication and community for
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that aren't necessarily community builders by
Yeah.
nature, which is neat.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's interesting.
It's something that I found myself as someone who has to sometimes be in the office with like 12 other people.
Yeah.
I have to, as in what I would consider myself to be an extrovert, I've actually learned to be an introvert based off of, I have to make sure I ground myself to pay attention and listen. And based
That's
off
a
of
good point.
and based off of that, people, because I've trained myself to be that way, coming from being an extrovert, I've trained myself to be an introvert because I believe truly that receiving more information from other people will allow me to express myself better.
Yeah, hell
Because there's a lot of times where I may say the wrong thing too soon.
Yeah, it's hard to
yeah.
remind yourself of that,
That's,
though.
Yeah, that's,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
That's
I
a
could
struggle
totally
I
dig
have
that.
myself for sure.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
there's so many times where I appreciate the bosses that I work with because they know that I'm such an extrovert. And they know where I'm at, and I'm like this
So
sporadic,
over-enthusiastic.
enthusiastic, and then. But here's the thing, though. It's like this mentality. It's like this perspective and meditation that I go through every morning before I go into the court system, which is where I sometimes work. When I put that suit on, I tell myself I have to be an introvert today. I have to listen.
I can do that.
So and then however on the other end of the spectrum, when I go into a production live performance / live media director that I am, because I have like 7 jobs, right?
Yeah.
It is like I have to speak out no matter what. And then it's like if there's anything that's wrong, I have to say something. and it conflicts with the law office that I work in when I'm doing a deposition.
Oh, yeah.
I have to
can see
keep
that going
quiet.
well.
I have to keep quiet no matter what. I bite my tongue so hard. And then
Right.
I've been biting my tongue so hard in that. And then the next day, I have to go into a studio where, the White Stripes or Britney Spears or some famous celebrity is doing something, and I have to speak up. And I'm saying, hey, this key light's not working. I have to go up there and fix it right now. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of times where, there are so many prestigious people in the room. I've actually been criticized for trying to fix something in the studio.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I was
crazy too,
because I was
right?
speaking out.
That seems
so
crazy
you get,
too.
So because you get criticized either way. You get criticized
Yeah.
speaking out in a formal
right.
business situation as the lawyer, and you get criticized by speaking out
Those
formally
sweet
in the
spots.
studio.
It's one of those grays.
So
you
it's
start
so
learning
gray.
life's never absolutes. It's always these.
I call it the
Grays, yeah.
official 50 Shades of Grey of production.
Nice.
You know,
I dig
either
it.
and so either way, you're going to get called out for something. But then
That's such a
in
zen
the
thing,
end,
though.
it
There's
is a zen
always
thing.
balance.
It's a very zen thing. So either way, if you have a good explanation, you can throw whoever's calling you out under the bus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's how it should be. Like if some I feel like our culture is really just oversaturated with managers. Like no one needs
Micromanagers.
Yeah, micromanagers.
Yeah,
and like
specifically.
the humans don't need that much management.
We don't. And then,
Right.
and like in
It's like
Europe,
office space.
in Europe, it's like we have the cordial correspondence to be respectful and manage for our own. However, in America, it's all like I'm capitalistic. You're fucking up with my.
It's the
position.
Wild West forever.
Yeah.
Wild West forever.
Always.
You're making
Until it crumbles.
It's like
Yeah.
it's so many different times where it was like, hey man, I hired you. You're making me look bad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
and that's actually what I got into. And so I had to go from doing me to respecting the people who hired me specifically.
Yeah.
And they come first. And I had to submit myself to those people.
Yeah.
And so I feel very much delegated to speak out to the female community when it comes to the production world, because there's so many times they're subdued because a man hired them. And so that's another thing. And so there are so many women that I've met coming out of California, Venice Beach, Burbank, Malibu, that are coming to Las Vegas because we're a bit more respectful towards, we don't care who you are as long as you get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. And there's so
like
many
It's a shame to have to deal with that.
yeah, it's a shame that you have to deal with that. And then in the industry, you have to respect the fact that you have to bite your tongue a lot. And there's so many new girls that are being born into this world. For example, I know a young 21-year-old who's like getting paid professionally, and she has like this. I'm up here. You can't treat me like this, and if you treat me like this, I'm out. And it's like, well, I'm
Which
sorry.
is an overreaction to like a pressure that's present. Yeah,
Exactly.
But you
So
can't come off that way.
And I'm sorry because as a man, I've already dealt with that. It's not just you as a female.
It's like I've been that place where I like
right,
really
right. And it's, as a man, I've been treated like shit. It's not just you.
But there's a certain percentage that you've got to be used to put up with as you prove yourself, and it's not your gender that's causing it.
But then also, there are these mental disabilities and disorders that conflict with those situations.
They're often present in the people hiring you to work as a production person.
Correct. And
We
it's
never
overreacted.
If you've worked in production on any extent with any kind of video or audio production, anything that qualifies as production, you rarely work for someone smarter than you.
Rarely. And so there's so many times. So
but people have visions, and you got to respect that vision because you're the technical person making that vision happen.
Actually, it's
because like if I had the vision, I'd be them. So it's the thing.
Right.
It's respecting that.
And speaking of visions, there's so many times where I was working professionally within like this episode, this one show, this 1 day show that we're shooting. It's a $250,000 budget.
Damn.
We're not talking about I've got maybe $2,000 in my pocket.
That's movies done with that budget. Yeah.
Right. No, movies. It's more than just movies. When it's an actual televised series for like Discovery, History, Travel Channel, like Food Network, or HBO, what have you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when it comes to that kind of expectation, there are so many different ways that someone can pull that authority card upon you. And if you're not used to it, no matter who you are, you're going to get fired. And you're not going to be referenced ever again. And so in order to...
That's more important than standing up for some
blacklist.
Perceived slight against you based on your gender or your race or your age. Happens to.
Who doesn't care?
You got to set that aside sometime to work with people that are dumber than you, that have a vision, have a budget that you don't have.
Right. So you have a vision on yourself that has an opinion.
But your vision's not making the money on this project.
Exactly. Your vision's not making the money on this project. And to be honest with you, I had to set myself lower on the bar to make sure that, hey man, you know what? You're right. I'm not responsible for your vision.
Yeah.
You're the one selling it to the director.
And you get paid whether it bombs or flies.
I get paid whether or not it bombs or flunks or is successful. Either way, I don't
Realizing
care.
that's a luxury in itself.
It's a luxury in itself. And so I have to tell myself, and I have to remind my coworkers, no matter what ethnicity, gender, or background that they're from, I tell them, do what you need to do. You're being paid your rate. Be respectful and don't question anything. And I'm sorry, it sounds very.
That's really good advice to someone young in production.
Very young in production. We call them greens.
Yeah.
And so
because it's a red flag to the people that hire you.
Absolutely.
They need subordinates. They already hired the people that they want to call them out.
Correct.
They've already got a second command that's going to call them out on their shit. That's the person you got to bitch to.
They can. And to be honest with you, they can just cut.
Yeah,
they can fire you on the spot.
It's a chain of command thing too, outside of production.
It has to be.
You want to talk to your supervisor before you talk to their boss.
And there was so many.
It's just like that.
And there were so many times where I have worked so many different positions in the production line, whether or not I'm a PA, I'm a DIT, I'm an AC, I'm a camera operator, or I'm assistant director. Either way, and there were times where I forgot my position.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give advice, and I was called out for it.
Damn.
Because that director or field producer was specifically saying, hey, let me do my job, you go do yours.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to someone who is sensitive upon their generation or ethnicity, they don't see it the way it is. and so they can call out and they get emotional over it, and that's when they get fired.
Yeah, it's such a kid problem. I definitely was that kid a bunch of times. And people might, and you know, unfortunately, sometimes there are times when it has to do with the kind of discrimination against race or sex or height
Right.
or gender or whatever.
Hashtag let's slap the bag over this
Yeah,
issue.
slap the bag over
Let's slap the
that.
bag over the
Sometimes
issue.
Back.
putting up with shitty bosses is part of the
Shitty
game.
bosses.
Hey, so I know you're stewing on a couple more elements.
I got
Let's-
one more. I got
okay.
one more to end it
Yeah,
on.
let's get it
'cause-
over here.
Yeah.
And then we're sending you guys off back to
Yeah,
Radio
yeah.
Vegas
This is the
Rocks.
last
Thanks
one.
for chilling with the video.
'Cause I kind of feel like this one is about knowing your place, and I feel like this guy didn't. And we talked about it last week. It's the Chinese researcher who claimed there hasn't been much evidence surrounding this claim.
Shout back to last episode.
Yeah, if you guys, if
Oh,
you're
that
going to
last
time
episode,
travel.
I'm telling you, yeah.
But he claimed that he genetically modified babies before they were born to be more resilient to the HIV virus.
What we reported on is the first designer kids, but possibly too soon.
Yeah. And so this dude, and he was a Chinese researcher, he's gone missing now. And this
No
was,
flack on China, even though China disappears people a lot.
Yeah, and this was a story that like broke like,
investors.
right? This broke like 2 weeks ago, and dude is now gone. He like appeared at a conference last week, was under house arrest, and is now like nowhere to be
So
found.
what put him on house arrest? Was this just international law that he broke with his designer
China
babies?
just decided to put him on house arrest.
I don't think he
And
talked to the government much about this move.
China specifically is actually migrating to a new, different type of government where they rate everyone.
Yeah, the social credit
Oh, that's
system.
Yeah,
versus
creepy.
the
big-
social credits. That's
social
insane.
credit system.
They're all like, depending on how much you make, who you are, what you do, who you're influenced with,
How
what
you
your
pay your
party
bills.
is, how you pay
Yeah.
your bills.
Which is pretty much just like our credit system. They're just calling it a social credit system.
And they're
That's
gonna
how I
actually
feel.
they're gonna send out. They're actually relying. So there's this gray area right now with Google. That Google actually has to sell a different platform to China, and all of China is rebelling over it.
Well, because they're
And
already
because
loved
China
by Baidu.
and because China is so good, their kids are so good at hacking already. They're all like, we're gonna find a loophole within this.
Yeah, and they're like.
And Google's probably going to make it with that loophole easy to get to because Google's
Right.
not in bed with
Which is
China's
why,
government.
which is why, for a long time, Google was actually selling one specific product that was tailored towards China, no matter what.
Yeah.
And now all these kids that have rich families are all like, oh, well, we're just going to travel to California, go to Burbank,
and get our
Venice,
Google. Or
and
just
get
use a
our
VPN.
Google, go VPN, and we're going to get all the info and then come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Chinese revolution.
I'm
Which you could
sorry.
just VPN
you
over
think,
there
You think
anyway.
this is communist? You know, World War 1943. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah.
the
Too little,
world-
too late.
The world is actually small now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Especially if you have
Maybe-
a VPN.
maybe not,
you guys,
unfortunately.
private
Well,
internet access.
There's
PIA.
more until transparency is fully invoked. Transparency will always happen whenever there's a hacker involved.
So if you want to browse the internet as if you're at a different country, in that country,
Right.
with a private, secure, encrypted pipe to that country, VPN's a way to go. My favorite, like tried and trusted, classic favorite is private internet access, commonly referred to as PIA.
Or
Those
demonoid.me.
don't hate them, but
Yeah.
like PIA, the old boys have never stored any data or decrypted anything for anybody. So that's my pipe when I feel like
That's a socialistic version that I've always wanted to hear.
yeah, PIA is great, but not as great as another website I like even better, RadioVegas.rocks.
Yeah.
So as you guys
Radio
close,
Vegas.rocks, man. That's where
close
it's
out
at.
the stream now and check out some of the awesome other stuff blasting on the station because the station is blossoming with growth right now. We've got some great shows on it. And RadioVegas.rocks all day. Mention that to the sponsors and love your day.
And then get out of here.
And then get out of here and love your day.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Now you can love your day.
Go on, you little
We gotta
scamps.
tune you out. Scamp it up.
Yeah, scamper on out of here.
Scamp.
Hey, man.
Such a bag day.
It's such a bad day. Hey man, sorry I couldn't show up right away.
Oh no, you're fine.
Dude, I was off
Your timing was
Facebook.
right.
I was off Facebook for a minute.